it's not my fault that, you order first and then don't order what you want. I'm
just saying, I didn't see what you ordered on the menu, and then all of a sudden, when it comes, it looks delicious.
Great. Hey. Well, welcome to the Two Cool Parents,
ladies
and gentlemen.
Are we going to leave the lights on, or are we going to...
Well,
we always record in the dark.
We record in the light.
We do?
Yes.
Maybe it's always dark outside.
It's always dark outside.
Eyes be low.
Yeah, today's episode is brought to you by Jack Daniels and Canada Dry Ginger Ale with lemonade.
Yeah.
Shout out to Canada Dry.
We're recording as we speak. I'm just using this all as pre-roll.
Hey, go for it.
But hey, welcome to the Two Cool Parents podcast.
Two Cool Parents podcast.
With your host, Will and Shay.
Hey, y'all. I'm Shay.
I'm Will.
See, mad dry. Just mad dry.
Your mama's mad dry.
Again. Do we have to get into this again?
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't bring up your mama.
Don't bring up your mama.
Your mama listens to the podcast.
Your mama don't.
Nope.
Mama got a jerk girl.
It's not a jerk curl. It's an afro. You want to talk about your mama? I'm not going to talk about your mama.
Don't talk about my mama. Because my mama 15 minutes away from here.
Exactly. And your mama got a cane and she might come after me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She knows she's been waiting to swing it.
You know she just started liking me like a year ago, so.
Yes, welcome to the Two Cool Parents podcast.
She really did, though. She was like, now I like you.
Yeah. Your mama got
I've been here, lady. Yeah. I done popped out 2 kids.
Your mama got used to me after a while, too.
Of course. She realized I'm married for love and not for money.
I bet she's like, I wish you would have married for money.
I'm sure she does.
It's all right.
Because she knows.
Knows what?
It's better to marry for money.
Is that what she married your daddy for?
No, they was poor.
So she married for love. So
of course. That's why she's like married for money and figure it out. It's better to be a happy rich lady than a poor rich lady.
Right. Anyway, we're Will and Shay. Thank you guys for listening. We have 2 cool parents also here with us today.
We have guests. I'm excited.
Y'all can go ahead.
Hey, what's up? This is JB.
Hey, JB.
What's going on, JB?
And this is Tony.
Hey, Tony.
What's going on, guys?
Hey, welcome to the Two Cool Parents podcast.
Make sure y'all talking to the mic so they can hear you. Yeah,
Thank y'all for having us.
Bring the mic closer.
I want to say these are our long-term listeners. I'm excited.
Yeah, they're listening. They're hailing in from the 804.
Where's that? Tell everybody where you're from.
VA.
Hey.
Actually, New Kent though. That's where we are right now.
New Kent
County.
Is that still 804?
It's 804.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the 804.
Hey, I don't know if that's 757. I gotta, ask
757 is when you get down to Towano.
Towano
is 757.
Okay. Why do you know that and I don't? And I'm from Virginia.
Because I used to work in Williamsburg.
I was going to say it's by the outlets, right?
Yep. Yeah. I used to work at the Polo outlet. Yeah. Shout out to the Polo store.
I thought the outlet. Okay. Maybe you can get off on that exit. I don't think we ever got off on that exit.
Lightfoot.
Yeah, Lightfoot.
That's right.
That's the exit.
That's the exit you get off. That's why I was throwing.
199. Just me, I know. But yeah, we have some folks here. But first, we want to thank you all for listening and subscribing and, talking to us. Shout out to the Black Podcast Network. Shout out to everyone who listens in for hailing from across the country. Philly, Cali, what else?
Everybody.
Georgia, Richmond,
we gonna name cities?
Durham. Shout out to our international listeners. Thank you. Bonjour. Hello. Hello, governor. All that.
Hello, governor.
No, we got some listeners in England, so gotta say what's up.
I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry. That's my husband.
Like I said, today's episode is brought to you by Jack Daniels. We won't have a real sponsorship, but we were drinking today.
Shout out to Canada Dry.
And Canada Dry Ginger Ale with the lemonade.
That is crack, y'all. If y'all haven't gotten up on that, head to your nearest store.
Right. Let's see here. What else? Please also take a look into the website, www.twocoolparents.com. Shay's blogging like crazy.
Yeah, check it out.
Also, check us out on Instagram, Two Cool Parents Podcast. Twitter, Two Cool Parents Podcast. Or Two Cool Parents, right? Two Cool Parents.
Two Cool Parents, babe.
Two Cool Parents. The Facebook page, Two Cool Parents. We are coming to you live on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. We on Spotify now.
Hey,
Spotify. What else we got?
Took us a minute to get on Spotify.
YouTube. We're gonna have some videos coming on YouTube soon, so please be on the lookout for that. Shout out to my big homie Chris, who's in the process of redoing our logo. We're gonna have a fire logo in a little bit. We're gonna have some merchandise too.
Yeah, coming to you.
Look out for the t-shirts coming. And yeah, we got some stuff. We got some stuff in the works. I mean, we have some stuff in the works because neither one of us are working right now. So
as it happens.
Yeah, it happens. I'm going on a full month and a week of unemployment. Yeah, real life out here in these streets.
But you wear it so well, babe.
I try.
You do.
I've been having headaches lately because of it, but
stress.
Yeah, stress. It
But
kicks in.
you wear it well.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome, boo.
Yeah. So
welcome, parents.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, we just went off on tangents. So this, if you
did.
just jump in. It's like
Cool,
it's like
cool,
double
cool.
Dutch.
Cool.
But let me do my normal. I kind of do interview style when we have new guests.
Right.
Because I want our listeners, our diehard listeners, to get to know you guys. So let me ask you this. First of all, I'll give you the backstory. I've known Tony since high school. When we went to a
Charter school.
no, actually, Tony and I didn't go to the same school.
Oh.
Her aunt was my teacher. It's my Spanish teacher.
Senorita.
Yes, hola, señorita. And when we went to Costa Rica, I ended up living with Tony for like a week. And that's how we bonded. And then when
You was down there with Jurassic Park?
Yeah, it was Jurassic Park was filmed in Costa Rica. We was in San Jose. We was Tabacón buddies.
Tabacón.
Yes. Ticos. And then when Tony was moving to the DC area, she looked me up and we were like, hey, girl. We got into so much trouble. We used to call it painting the town pink.
Lots of trouble.
Yep. Lots of cold nights. I remember a lot of cold nights and we really had no clothes on. That was kind of the essence of our going out. I mean, we was in our 20s. And now look at us. We're parents. So Tony's married to this handsome young man on my right, JB.
Hello.
And so tell us how you guys got to be two cool parents. Because you were two cool parents to 3 kids.
3.
That's a handful. You want to tell Tony?
You go ahead.
Tony saw me in the club one night.
Yes, in the club,
In
love.
the club. You know,
What was y'all doing at Love in the Club, like
she
Usher
was-
said?
Yeah, that's the first thing that popped in my mind.
That song came out about that time, too.
Yeah.
How long y'all been together?
Oh, this is what, 10?
9 years.
9 years? Yeah.
Cool.
I was always with her. That's why I said 10.
However, we knew each other from little kids.
True.
Because
So y'all was baby love.
Yeah, we went to the same church, and I always had my eye on JB.
Way back.
Yeah.
Yes.
He pretend he didn't know I existed.
That
back
sounds
then.
familiar.
I recently
Yeah.
came clean about 6 months ago. Yeah, I remember you.
So apparently he had his eye on me too.
After 9 years.
6 months ago, he remembers.
The truth.
The truth
shall set you free.
Amen.
Hey, that's the rule we live by on this podcast. You got to tell the truth.
That's all your truth.
Tell the truth. Okay.
Well, yeah, no. So she saw me. Sorry. She saw me in the club. Said, "I know you guys," and I was like, "I don't know you." There we go again, lying.
Why you always lying?
So I saw her, and I told my brother that night. I said, "I'm gonna marry her." That was the first night I seen her.
What?
After like
You
10
sound like that
years,
State Farm commercial. I'm never gonna get married.
Hey,
And then you married.
That's exactly what happened. I had to always say I'm not ever getting married. So I told
Tony
her
had
that
on a pink top with a black belt. This is sad that I remember what she had on that
This sounds
night.
like 2007. Were they?
I was with her.
Oh wow.
We were painting the town pink.
I was really
That was when you came up to DC.
Oh yeah, I'm talking
Yeah.
about when I first seen you down there with a friend of yours in Richmond.
Yeah.
That's when my
Oh,
brother.
my bad. I'm
That was
sorry.
before I moved.
Gotcha.
Yeah, this was right before she was about to move though. She was about to move up to DC.
Let me back out the conversation. My bad.
She was about to move out to DC, and when she when I seen her, I told her, I said, yeah. I told my brother, I said, yeah, I'm gonna marry her. And my brother looked at me and said, if we can say this word, nigga, you crazy. And I was like, no, man, I'm gonna do it, man. I just feel it right there. 3 months later, though, because I'm very terrible with the women. 3 months later, I talked to her, and shucks, man.
You said I'm terrible
You
with
came
the
up to
women.
visit.
Terrible. I came up to visit, and it was what it was. Like, we just started talking, and what?
And apparently tearing the club up. Shooting it up.
But that was a little bit later. That's
a little bit later.
But within a
just
year, we were
saying.
married. Within a year, we
Within
were
a
married.
year.
So it was kind of crazy the way it happened. But I guess I spoke those things, so and it happened. You know,
There you go. You got to speak things
It
into
is what it
existence.
is. But I knew I was marrying her when I first seen her. I was like, oh, that's me.
That's what's up.
That is me.
I didn't know at the time though.
Oh, okay.
Seen
You
her
ain't had
around.
no part?
No.
I just want to let
She
you
was
know,
along for the
JB.
ride.
Tony and I were hairstylists, and you kind of messed up my hairstylist when you made Tony move back home. So, like, she used to, do my hair, and I used to cut her bangs. And then all of a sudden, she was pregnant and going back home.
Gone.
And I was like,
I
what? How does this
apologize.
work? Who
Apologies.
is JB? I ain't
Apologies.
never heard of him. I knew everybody in her life except you.
Yeah, I was her little secret.
It sounds like a story I know, doesn't it?
I don't know. There's nobody here to corroborate that story, will you?
But with what you say, it sounds like people say the same thing about you and I.
I know.
You married who? Him?
Yeah.
Really?
Nobody knew that we were like in the cut.
Yeah.
Except for Shireen.
That's how
Hey,
it is,
girl.
though. That's
I know
how
you
it
listening.
That's how it is.
That's how it is. You know, you gotta, have that one person that just pop up like, hey,
It's me.
hello, it's me.
Y'all can tell we don't get out much.
We
so.
don't. That's why we're cool but corny. Only you're cool but corny.
Yes. All right. So you guys got married, and now you are the parents to 3 beautiful children.
3.
3. Yes, we have a 8-year-old, a 7-year-old, and a 7-month-old.
Woo.
A handful.
So what was that gap for?
Cause I was done.
But someone wasn't. He's like, I'm shooting this whole thing up.
Yeah. We were talking earlier about dismounts. It's important
Look,
for fellas
Not
to
when
get your
you
dismount
married.
on.
when you marry, you can't
It's
dismount
not-
no more. There's no such thing as
Yeah.
dismounting. It's-
Get married,
You
just
gotta
stop
get
the
your
dismount.
dismount on.
the pull-out game is not the same when you're
but
married.
you gotta try, unless you
Why?
want like mad kids.
I can use my energy on other stuff. I can't try.
Look, that's why we get married. If we want to pull out, then we still be out here in these streets.
Okay, well there you have it. That is the honest truth.
That's
Straight
not
from William Wright.
If I'm gonna pull out, I'm like, I'm gonna be out here in these streets. I'm married.
Yeah.
Leave it in.
And deal with it. Take your 50-50 chance.
Ain't no 50-50 chance. All right, go pee.
Do what you gotta do.
Go handle that.
Will does have this hilarious rule though that if you want to have a boy, you got to put on your Timbs.
Gotta put your Timbs on. Gotta wear a wife beater. I know we can't say that it's problematic, but a wife beater and play a G Unit mixtape in the background.
Oh yeah, you definitely.
G
have
Unit,
the boy.
what? We in it, what?
Yeah, you definitely have the boy.
But it can't be any regular Timbs. You can't put the field boots on. You gotta find yourself some either some chuckers or some butters, some real the 12-inch butters. Tie it real nice. Gotta have the long Nike socks on.
You guys got to
And
be
look,
real.
have many men in the background.
You gotta play Biddy Man.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, because JB had this thing that he was gonna get a boy if he didn't smoke.
What?
I quit
But-
smoking for 5 years because of that. I had one
And
boy,
guess what? We just
2
had
girls.
a girl.
Dang, JB.
So that didn't work.
Yeah, that was wrong. But still,
Maybe
stop
you should
smoking.
try
It's
the
not good for
Timbs.
you.
The
I
Timbs
should
might
try
work.
it.
The Timbs.
Yeah, I probably should try that.
Play the Timbs and play the Timbs or some something hardcore, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
And it
So-
got to be like at a random time in a random place. Like you can't be. You know how you got scheduled.
You can't be making like girls. You make girls by making love. You make boys making love.
Facts.
Boys is
That's a fact.
boys are made like you gotta just go at it, like, you know,
More Jack Daniels.
more Jack Daniels in the kitchen. Put your leg up on the counter.
Okay,
Make this
well, they
work.
don't need to know all our business, okay?
What?
Just saying. Keep the kitchen out of this.
Girl, I'm in the kitchen cooking me a meal. Shouts out to R. Kelly. When I'm ready to toss your salad. Remember that?
No, we can't support R. Kelly on this podcast.
I don't support R. Kelly. I don't support Robert, but I support R. Kelly.
R. Kelly is the man.
I don't support Robert. I support R. Kelly. Okay, it's a big difference. Big difference.
It is. I'll give you that.
So you guys been together for going on almost 10 years, 3 kids. So tell us up, downs, all arounds.
Well, with me, like I said, I don't have a lot of, with women, I am not the Rico Suave type dude. So with women, I just say what I got to say, and sometimes
And
it
hope
comes
they
off
like
wrong.
it.
And hope they like it, yeah. And it was very bad in the beginning. My wife probably can attest to that.
No romance at all.
No romance. It's just
Still,
Girl,
no romance.
girl, ain't none over here, so.
let's not get carried away.
Whoa,
I
okay,
can
so
show you some
I'm
romance.
just saying.
time out.
Wait a minute.
Let's put a pin in that. Let me tell you something about the romance thing, okay?
Please.
The romance thing happens when we have the time to put in for the romance thing. And what I mean by romance, when men do romance, we do romance in the sense of going all the way out. Like we want to put the petals around the bed and the candles lit. That's romance.
I'm here for all of that.
Yes.
I'm
That's-
waiting.
that's-
Here.
yeah.
Right now for it.
When the kids are somewhere else, not here. At
But
the
they
house.
live here.
They can't be
They
here.
gotta go somewhere
They gotta go
else
somewhere
now.
else. Or if they can't go somewhere else, then you and me gotta go to a home.
somewhere
We can go
else.
somewhere
But when
else.
we go someplace else, you want to go sleep
no. When
because you're tired.
my G, when the last time we went someplace?
Well,
You and me with someplace.
it's been a while.
Thank you.
But
Now,
I'm just saying.
and I'm not talking working one of your events. I'm talking.
Ooh, no, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you
the
didn't
last
throw
time.
that in there.
The last time we had some fun like that. Aruba before we got to this house.
That's because we
3
didn't have
years
kids
ago.
for 7 days.
Thank you. Proof in point.
Y'all want to keep having kids though.
Well,
No,
we not talking about that. We talking about the romance.
I don't want to. I don't want.
We
more
have a little
kids.
person here too.
Yes, we can't be two cool parents without having at least one child in the mix.
Yeah, we have the 7-month here. So if you hear in the background,
She's so cute.
just say, "Hey, baby."
She's so cute. She don't like nobody else but her mama.
That's it.
That's
Barely like her dad.
I was like, here, hold my hand. She's like, I said, she looked at me like I was short. I was like, little girl,
Well,
I'll take all your lunch money.
all right. So back to this romance thing. Why can't we just improvise where we are?
Because it's not the same. Because men, we think methodically. Because
Yeah,
the thing is,
exactly.
it's a process to it. Like, for
So
instance,
process the children out of your equation for that night.
we could do that.
Babysitter, grandparents.
Yeah, definitely could do that. But it's different. It's a different type of thing when it's like, if we do it, we want to make sure it's perfect. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. That's exactly what happens. I know with me, when I think about stuff, I say I had a whole night planned out, and then something would go wrong. I'm like, well, I can't do that. Let me just chill out.
What you
And I'll do
mean?
it. It's
Like, how
literally
you
like,
just, like-
I'll run stuff by run stuff by people that I confide in or whatever, and say, you think this right here might be nice to do something for a woman or whatever, my wife or whatnot, and if it don't go right that week, that day, or that early that week, I'll stop. I'll like, okay, that whole thing.
So it's off the table from the get go. You won't even try.
I won't even try. Yeah, that's me.
See, we're not.
And
We,
it's
see,
not-
look, we
it's
have.
not-
It has to be perfect.
It has to be perfect. Y'all seen the episode of Martin? When he said, "Baby, I want to get you the ring. I can't get you that $5 million diamond ring. I can only get you the $5 one. I can't get you that $100 bottle of champagne. I can get you the $20 bottle one. Am I right? You
Right.
seen that?
No, that's
right.
That's how
too.
guys think.
But
Like,
for instance, when you
you
Shay,
want the best for your woman.
when we lived in DC area, Shay worked at this organization where she used to travel, and
Tony
she
worked there too.
So okay, good. Y'all both worked there, and when Shay would leave town, London would go down to her grandparents. 9 times out of 10, perfect. I'm at home. I'm bored. But before I knew Shay was coming back, the house would be spotless. Like, that's romantic to me. What? The whole house clean? You ain't got to worry about nothing?
I do like that. I appreciate
Boom.
that.
House clean, right?
Throw some
I take-
candles and
But
some
hold on, wait a
roses.
second. But then I take a whole nother level, though, right? I be listening to a whole bunch of music during that time when she gone. Find the right music. I remember this one time, I think it was an Eric Benet song, whatever. I had got the whole house clean. She was like, "Oh, I'm about to be at the airport." She was flying into DCA, Reagan National. I'll go get her.
It's just national.
This is national. But the thing is, before I went to go get her, I had the bath water ready to go. I had it on nice and hot too. Candles lit, music playing.
It was wonderful.
Boom, boom, boom. No, like that's for men. That's what we have.
Yeah.
Now I can't even lie. I ain't never got that far. This dude,
Never.
by the time I get to thinking
Say
about
it again,
that,
Tony.
Never.
I let her say that. But by the time I get to that, I'm trying to, it is what it is. I keep my socks on and keep it moving.
Y'all see what I'm dealing with, right?
JB with the socks on.
Like, it is what it is.
He got the socks on right now.
Bruh.
Bruh,
Ready,
bruh, I don't
Tony.
know which one are you? Are you Southern or you country? Because I'm very country. I got my socks on. It's
Hey,
whatever.
it is what it is, yo. I'm from the South with an F. Put it that way.
SOUF, South.
Yeah. I do have to say this though, small interjection. JB put me on the BLB.
That's what's up. Yo, didn't BLB have like a song way before like it came out? It was like some trap. He had a trap music.
Haters, something like that.
It was
I
a
know exactly what
it was a trap song. It was a trap.
He makes a lot of good music.
He does.
Except for the fact that he thinks the world is flat, but
Hey, shout
Yeah, he's a little
out to
off.
all the flat earthers.
Yeah, shout out to them.
Shout out
And
to the flat
I
earthers.
See the logic, but I don't.
I mean,
agree with
when
it.
you go to the ocean, you're looking at the horizon.
it is flat.
It is flat.
it does. But if you keep going, you know it's not.
No, it's
Right,
not.
you know it's not.
Well,
but
But
They
he should have
tell
been
us.
around the world a few times. I
Yeah.
would think
I've
he
been
would
playing.
realize.
Listen, I'm not a flat earther, but I have heard that there's only one picture of the Earth from space, and the one that we see is the only one we see, and it's not really a picture from space. It's something else. So we don't know. We just know what they tell us.
actually, but
Are we really gonna go into conspiracy theories this early in the
I'm just
conversation?
saying, I
'Cause
know what I see.
I mean,
And
I
you know,
kind of
I'm
am
not a
with
flat
you
earther
on
at all.
certain
Like,
parts
yeah.
because I feel like nobody's been to the moon. I
Exactly.
felt like that was really just in a Hollywood trailer.
One, you're telling me you
Seriously.
haven't been back to the
We
moon since
haven't
the
been back.
50s?
And then Transformers comes out with Dark Side of the
Since
Moon,
the 50s.
and I'm just like, yeah, that probably is what really happened.
Since the 50s.
Yeah.
Like I've been watching Star Trek. I've been like
So
watching
where
all,
do the space shuttles go then? They just go up and come back down?
Listen,
Like, how do we
could
explain
go- we
that?
could go-
But
we got far left right there.
but here's the thing though, when it comes to the whole flat earther thing, if you honestly look at the solar eclipse, it's a circular moon covering a circular sun. It's circular. It's not flat.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
We ain't no flat disc.
We're 3-dimensional, not 2-dimensional.
There you go.
If that was the case, I can
True.
walk. I can be flat against this wall. My big ass ain't be flat against this wall.
Yeah, my stomach would be flat. If that was the
When
case.
I lay down, I'm flat. I know how those Instagram models do. They just lay down. Everything looks great when you lie down. And you get a nice bra to just hold it all together.
Again,
My mamas understand what this is.
Again, today's episode is brought to you by Jesus Wine and Jack
yes,
Daniels.
Jesus wine.
Yes.
I'm sorry, we just randomly cut
that
off.
was a nice
Continue to
tangent,
tell
though.
us.
Continue about
Yeah,
you
your
not
story.
having late, no.
No type of romantic skills. I think
You ain't read no books, no movies,
No arabesque.
rom-com.
You ain't watch BET on 2
Mafia, yo. Too much 666. I can't lie. Like that was what it was, and I don't even like slow music. So for me to have anything with R. Kelly or whoever, I don't like it.
No R&B?
No R&B, no
What?
nothing.
But you grew up in a preacher's house.
And that might be the reason why.
Maybe
like,
that
quite
is true.
honestly, like
Yeah,
we
that stuff
listen
puts
that,
him to sleep.
It puts me to sleep right now. Like that's what it is. It got to be something with a fast beat. That's the baby girl right there.
Hey, Kelsey.
So is there any more?
Any more what?
Any more kids?
Any
in
more
the
kids?
future?
That's really up
Y'all
to
gonna
her.
have a baseball team?
No baseball.
I like a
team.
basketball team, not a
No.
baseball team.
Basketball? Okay, basketball.
Power 5. You know?
Starting lineup.
Starting lineup. That's all I need. You
Okay.
know?
5'2", coming out of University of Richmond.
Yeah, you know. But no, yeah, I mean, right now, as far as the kids, with this third one, it's been a different dynamic.
I'm gonna fight.
Okay.
I'm gonna fight her too
Because
because she done cut her head at me.
She did. She just looked at
give
you
you
and
the
was
side eye.
like,
She is when you say, like, y'all too loud.
hey, boo.
Yeah.
We're just having a little fun.
Grown up fun.
I fight babies.
Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. I mean, that's what makes our podcast great. Is,
Yeah,
you know, we
you never
are
know.
2 cool parents and we got kids.
True.
Cheering.
True.
Yeah.
But yeah, like as far as the third one, the fourth one, we don't. It's no plans, no plans right now. But we want to have another, sibling for the third one. So she has a
Okay.
friend.
Yeah, the two are, since they're so close in age, we're thinking about
Yeah.
So there's a
this last
possibility.
one.
It's a possibility.
There will not be a fifth unless the fourth
It's a girl.
pregnancy is twins.
Twins.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't care if it's a girl. or
Are we
boy.
using assistants?
Not for this fourth one.
Using a system.
Yeah, so that means like, are we using any in vitro?
In vitro.
Or,
I want to say,
You know,
who else going to assist me in this?
oh, you rolling
I just
solo
wanted to know.
dolo.
Like, I was like, okay.
I mean, I'm just asking. You know,
I'm
because
cutting my
as,
eyes at my wife. Like, what are you talking about?
as ladies get older, it gets harder. You know,
yeah.
it's a known fact. It's a little bit harder. So I didn't know if you guys were having thoughts about doing Any sort of.
We did for number 3. We did have a little bit of assistance from a fertility specialist because it
Okay.
took a while for her to come about.
There you go.
Yeah.
See, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will ain't got no problem shooting the club up. So
Yeah.
most
Yeah.
of the time, I got to like
It's
run to the bathroom.
What were we watching? We were watching Victoria on PBS.
No, it was Handmaidens when she was.
No, it was Victoria when she went in and she.
Oh, she was jumping on the bed?
And she went and jumped on the bed like 100 times. Like, what? To shake it out.
That's original.
doesn't
right there.
work.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work. Ladies, pull the mics and you might want to come a little
put
closer
your
to
earbuds
this.
a little closer in.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't. Trust me, these ninjas got like super sperm. Like they're
Well,
they're
some
little
cats
men's.
don't. Some cats don't.
That's
have
true. But the man I'm married to,
I take vitamins.
we ain't got no problems. None.
That's why we're 2 cool parents.
But I think that's wonderful that y'all want to keep going. Like, I love big families because I come from a big family. Not my immediate family, but my parents' family. Both of them. My mom is one of 6. My dad is one of 4. So,
Yeah, I think that was cool.
Yeah.
As well.
siblings. And then they're all kind of like together, too. So, like, with my mom's family, there's an older set, and then there's a gap, and then there's my mom and her younger siblings. Oh. And then, my dad, him and his brother are like 18 months apart.
I'm totally opposite. My mom is the oldest of plethora because my biological grandfather is a Rolling Stone, and my grandfather.
They have a big family, though.
My grandfather, it's Gary, Greg, Larry, Paris, Terry, 5. So my mom's the oldest of 6 on that side, and then on my biological grandfather's side, from what I'm told, there's a plethora of children. So technically, I would be the oldest grandchild, if I'm not mistaken, unless someone else has one older than me.
I have to say, you never know.
Never know.
Yeah.
Never know. But my
how it
dad's
was back in
the
the day.
youngest of 8.
Ooh, yeah.
So I'm like,
that's a lot.
So to me, I'm scared of big families. I'm like, 1, financially, no. 2, this isn't 1942, 1950, 1960, where like, you grow up in those type of neighborhoods where there's other families like you, where you have 5 kids, 6 kids, and the family next door has 9 kids. 5 that she did on her own and 4 that just happened to get dropped off saying, well, this is his. Because that's what they used to do back in the
They
day.
did.
And then back to that's what I think I commend the mothers of those days back in the 50s.
It's still moms doing it today.
When those kids get dropped off and said, this is his, I'm gotta go. I'm like, what? But now those moms that trying to drop off, they're not dropping off kids. They dropping off court papers. He need to pay child support.
Yeah. You ain't seen the kid just pay that money.
yeah.
I'm like, what?
I like the big families. I had one brother, but I like the big families. Okay, Kelsey. No, but
She
I
is
had
staring me down.
Like with the big families, I think
Kelsey,
it's
what I
important
do
to let the lineage go on.
Right.
The more opportunities you get for people to go out into the world and for me carry my name on, boom, we got more.
Right.
So now I got
Okay,
3
so this
now.
is about you. I get it.
It has a lot to do with that. The Burrell name, I want to pass it on. You know, like
2, you want them to have a support system.
yeah. When I go, I want them to be able to lean on each other.
Right.
I couldn't imagine my parents dying without my brother. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want that to happen. You know what I'm saying? So now I know they got 3 people that'll be able to help them each other out, and they'll be good to go.
Yeah, I came from a household of 2, so it's just the 2 of us.
But you still
Same
have a
here.
support system, though. Like you have somebody else that's there. You know what I'm saying?
I love
Yeah.
my sister.
I know-
She's
I know
a pain in
some-
my butt, but I love her.
I know somebody who was just only sibling. Their parents died, and she was like very lonely. Like,
Yeah,
there was
only
nothing-
children know. Yeah, they're
Yeah,
weird.
she was like very lonely with it. So it kind of it scares me to know that when I go, if they didn't have nobody else, it would probably be hard on them.
Yeah. And I think about that in general. Like,
Yeah.
I come from, it's just me and my brother. And,
My brother and I.
my brother and I. Thank you, Grammar Police.
They out there, though. I'm sure they're listening. I'm
They
sure
are.
they're listening.
Shouts out to everyone who says conversate. Can't stand you. Hey, we was conversating.
Yes. And, I feel like there's always one sibling that's the stronger sibling
Yeah.
than the other sibling.
Do you think that's the oldest or the middle or the youngest?
In my
or
case,
does it
it's
matter?
me.
Okay.
You know?
And you're the youngest?
I'm the youngest.
Okay.
There's 7 years between my brother and I.
Oh,
And
wow.
it's like, I feel like part of me is like, there's, maybe it's because I'm a girl, and there's that dynamic between my mother and I, but I feel like I'm the one that's going to be the one to take, the responsibility of anything that happens.
Oh, well, I mean, for me, it's like...
It'll probably be Liv.
No, it's between the both of us. I mean,
You think so?
I think Liv...
I think Liv is closer, though.
Liv is probably closer because she grew up in there for 5 years without me, where it was all of it was the attention was on her compared to when I was growing up. There it was majority on me up until 18, and then when I left, it was just I was gone, and then of course my mother was trying to reach out to me like, oh, talk to me, Mom, I gotta live life. I gotta do what I gotta do.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta do that.
I gotta live my life. You can't tell me. You can't keep me locked down.
Gotta treat them like they want to be
I
treated.
mean,
Mom.
that's
Leave
true.
Me alone.
We all grew up in very church-filled homes.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And that's good. It's not. That's
Yeah,
not
there's nothing bad about
It's not
that.
that bad
Yeah.
about that.
But sometimes you got to go out here and
But
live.
I feel like you do.
gotta-
There's
see,
certain point you gotta.
I feel like when you grow up in a church-filled home, like spirit, especially like when your parents are ministers. My mother was a prophetess.
Okay.
Your mom was the head deacon of the church.
She was. She's
She was
not
the head.
anymore. Yeah.
Well, was the head deacon. I mean, you got those homes built like that, but then you have children like us, whether we are the youngest or the oldest, who have to go experience life. And I feel like we're kind of like those Mormon kids.
Wait, what?
Think
Where
about-
you going with this?
No, hear me out. Because the thing is, if you pay attention to the Mormons, what happens with the Mormons is that once they reach a certain age, they have to go out into the world and minister. But while in the world ministering, they're going to be tested with the sins of the world.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm saying for us. We grew up in that.
And Lord knows I'm weak.
And we got, and the thing is, like,
Come on, JB, put it out there.
JB and I were talking about
Yeah.
earlier when I was grilling. Yeah, y'all, we got a grill. I was grilling. Ha ha.
Yeah,
Talk
yeah,
about it.
we got a grill, y'all.
I was on a fast for 30 days. I went on and broke that.
Yeah,
Ain't so bad.
Cool down.
because them ribs was hitting.
The chicken was the best.
The ribs was
Yeah.
the best.
I think the ribs were the best. I like
Really?
the ribs.
the ribs
The
was
chicken
hitting.
was
The
on
ribs was so
point.
good that I had grease around my mouth from the rib. It was like
They were great.
You did tear up the ribs.
I did. I
You
wanted
was
to
licking your fingers and everything.
I wanted to take a nap.
You did kind of come back upstairs like, how can I finagle this now?
I was like, do we need to record? We can afford that to record. But no, what I'm saying is that, spirit-filled homes and kids, we have to go out and learn and feel about that. Especially within the black community, because a lot of, depending on what type of household you come from, you don't really get a true definition of what the world is.
100%.
Because we hold it back from our kids. Like, I remember...
And JB, you probably got that a lot more because you're a preacher's son.
Yeah.
And so there was probably
Like,
a lot of pressure.
I mean, he's in the like pulpit preacher son
Yeah.
every Sunday.
Yeah, it
Every
was crazy.
Sunday.
Every Wednesday.
And Wednesday.
Every Wednesday, every Tuesday, every Thursday, choir rehearsal, every Friday prayer. Saturdays you get a day off prayer in the morning though. We get to go up there for that. But it was very hectic, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, when we got into college, it was like, okay, Dad. I say I was good for the first 2 or 3 months. And after
Dang, I
that,
thought you was gonna say years.
no. 2 or 3 months I was reading my Bible on a regular, and then
I was the same way.
yeah,
I was the same way.
I was a herb. You know what I'm saying? I was a lame. Got to college, and one day, like I used to go to class, go back to my room, go to class, go back to my room. Then one day,
Tell everybody where you went to school.
Winston-Salem State University,
WSSU?
SU. That's right. Let's go Rams.
I said, which are the Rams?
Yeah, we were the Rams. Yes. But no, and I was doing well, and then one day I was like,
Then homecoming came.
it was probably
Was it
maybe
homecoming?
2 weeks before homecoming.
Also, it was the
And I started
It was
meeting
the
people.
It was the antebellum.
and you know all these girls and
Oh wait, you had like A&T down there.
Oh, yeah, A&T, Wake Forest,
Aggie
Bennett
Pride.
College.
Yeah, you had a lot.
Central, all that stuff was in the
so
same
you
area,
had a mix
so-
of white women and black women. Go ahead, brother.
A&T, let me tell y'all, if y'all
Speak
have
no
never
evil.
been to a North Carolina homecoming,
Yeah, A&T.
you ain't never
Yeah.
lived. Like seriously, that is one of the best
We would
homecomings.
pray that their homecoming wasn't the same weekend as Winston's. So we can go to theirs and then go to Winston's the week
We the
after
same
the
way
week
with,
before.
with Howard.
That's the same way with
We the
Howard
same
and
way with
Hampton.
Howard.
We're the same way with Howard and
Oh,
Hampton.
And they did it every year when I was in school, except for one.
They stopped after your senior year, 06.
Yeah, because we were like, this is ridiculous.
Right,
We
and
could
the-
be both making money, but instead, half of our campus left to go to Howard.
Right, half of the
that's how
campus
it is.
left. Yeah.
That's how it
No,
works.
no Tate, no Tate, no shade, no tea Hampton, but let's just say Howard puts on a better homecoming.
Well, I mean, at the time they shut down DC, but now that was back when DC was still chocolate city. Still
I
a
agree.
bit.
Yeah, it's a little different.
That's now it's a little
Yeah.
different. It's mocha latte.
Now they're dealing with
Mocha latte, that is actually
It's
you're
mocha
right.
latte. It's
I
very-
wouldn't even
it's-
say it's mocha.
Okay, it's very latte.
It's
Latte.
just
It's
bubble
it's,
tea.
It's macadamia. You know what? It's macadamia.
Macadamia.
It's very macadamian up in
Yeah,
DC now.
Yeah.
yeah.
So, but no, like
Yeah.
I was the same way. Like I mean, I'll be real with y'all. Up until second semester, my GPA was like a 3.67.
Wow, you was
I was good.
Straight and narrow.
Straight and narrow. And the crazy part is, Shay and I had a conversation about this earlier. After the second semester, it just went downhill, and it was trying to fit in, trying to be a part of, you know,
Well-
the in crowd, trying to do certain things.
I think that, you know, you okay, so you grew up in a household like that, and then you try to live, you believe the stuff that they're telling you, but you try to live like they want you to live, and that's not,
You can't really live that way
you can't
in
live
school.
their life.
Yeah.
Right.
You can probably could, but you can't, you gotta live it the way you want to live it.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
not their life.
But you know, it's funny that you say that because I've always had this quote in my head that if you haven't lived a life unless something's happened to you.
Facts. Yeah.
And
Adversity
until you
builds
go
character.
through something,
That's very true.
and that's kind of, you know, whether it's a trial, whether it's just, you know, like you said, you were kind of like a herb and
Yeah.
you didn't quite know anybody, but then you're finding yourself through that
Exactly.
process.
Listen, my middle school and high school, I was very introverted. Like I played on the basketball team and all that stuff, but I just didn't like to be around people.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would get anxiety, nervous and stuff. Got to college and I was like, I had to do these things.
Right.
I had to interact with people. I had to do this, had to do that.
And
My
you were
parents-
meeting different types of people from
exactly.
different places.
I was like, oh, I love college. I
What?
second year, I didn't want to come home. I didn't want to come home at all.
Right. I mean, when I look back on my college years, I see those as like some of the best years of my life. You know what I mean? That was where,
Yeah.
that's where I got to experience. I mean, that's when my level of bouginess went to a whole nother level. I mean, Hampton did that to me. I think, and not just Hampton, but HBCUs do that to you. You get to a certain life. I mean, I love all the, you know, the people, all the black folk that went to PWIs and TWCs,
yeah.
but
my wife,
Yeah,
my
you
wife
ain't- Tony
went to one.
did.
Yes.
you ain't bougie until you went to an HBCU. You're like, as much as we may not have certain amenities, but as soon as we go, okay, I know.
Well, they tell you how great you are at the HBCU.
They do.
And I can vouch for that. Like, you
Yeah.
learn about yourself and what your people have done at that school. They
Right.
tell you in
Yeah.
that area. They tell you how great
you
you are.
want to hear something crazy?
Yeah.
All right, shouts out to Hampton University's pirate page. They just posted the picture of Booker T. Washington's original degree,
Oh, that's dope. Somebody found it?
Yeah.
That's dope right
signed by General Armstrong.
Awesome.
there. Wow.
So
Wow.
So I didn't have your same experience in college.
Okay.
I was a nerd, apparently.
yeah, she was definitely a super herb.
Yeah. I graduated with a 3.46 GPA.
Oh, shucks now.
You know,
You can read books.
cum laude.
That means
know.
you read books.
I did, and I
A
followed
lot.
directions very well. I was always in my, advisor's office because I was trying to graduate, like legit trying to graduate.
Yeah.
And it's probably because I had an older sibling who I saw didn't graduate and who had a kid early. I didn't want that same thing to happen to me. So it was very focused on being book smart and graduating college. But once I graduated college,
Yeah.
that was when
Turn up.
the turn up happened.
Yeah.
That was when me and Tony out here painting cities.
Let Tony speak for herself.
Yes, we will. But I was there for a
Joking.
couple occasions.
Tony set the way
And-
with the baby.
And let me tell you, we lived, hunty. We lived. We had a great time, a fabulous time.
I like to look at it as a coming of age type thing. Like for me, college was that. Okay. You say you were doing all that, doing your books and stuff. But
Yep.
when you graduate, you was like, I'm grown.
I'm grown. I was
Do what the heck I
21.
want to do. Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
you were grown then. I was grown at 18, 19 years old. Like, I'm in school. It sounds...
But I think it's also different for guys though, because like for me, I was so focused on getting past that because school was just like I was in regular school. It was another school I was going to, so that
Yeah.
took priority.
Absolutely. Yeah.
For
I
me, it
understand.
wasn't about hanging out still on the social scene. I saw it as just continuing my education.
But I think for people that it really depends on where you are. For me, like I said, I was such an introvert. So when the time came for me to start meeting people, I had to jump on in, or I would still be an introvert now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? At that point, okay, boom, you 18. Hey, let's go talk.
Let me ask you this: do you think if you had gone to a PWI,
I would have been worse off. Yeah. It was something about the HBCU. And my mom pushed me to go to the HBCU. She was like, "You got to go to HBCU." The PWI, I always was leery around the others. Because I take history. I mean, I'm studying history right now, and with studying history, like I know what's been going on in the past. I'm about to get my master's in that. I know, so it's like I've always had a leeriness about the others.
others.
I mean,
colonizers?
the colonizers. You
Colonizers.
can call them that. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
I mean,
Black Panther.
I mean, for me, it was like as a coming. Like you don't really don't. It's not the sense of finding yourself. It's that you're evolving through there. Like I mean, I've shared on this podcast many times before that I came from a household where I had to take care of my sister after school for most of the time. It was not a lot of play for me until maybe parts of junior year, senior year of high school. So I really didn't get to experience that until I got to college. And when I got to college, it was, okay, I'm going to do this book thing. I'm going to make sure I'm on point to my homework. First semester, great. Second semester to, 2009 when I couldn't complete school because of the financial reasons, I said, yo, this was crazy.
Yeah.
And but the thing is, I got to evolve myself, you know what I mean?
Right.
And it's not like I didn't find myself, because you really don't find yourself. You, like I said, you
You
evolve.
evolve,
I like
yeah.
that better.
And you evolve. Like I remember, like the first 2 years of college, I was out there, and people can tell you who went to Hampton with, but they're like, yo, Will was a social butterfly, and not in the kind way per se. They were like, he would jump, boom, 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 like, or I was a social frog. I would jump on anyone's lily pad for the most part, until like parts of junior year, parts of senior year, where I was like, look, I'm just gonna fall back. And that's when I kind of started evolving a little bit more. And
That's when the growth happened.
that's when, yeah. And you can't just, like I
So you probably started realizing, oh, okay, college is more than just parties. It's actually, I got to finish this place.
Right. So that was that. But real quick, we're going to take a quick break. We got the kids running around, so we'll be right back in just a few moments. Hold on. And we're back.
Hello, everybody.
Yes. The break brought to you by diaper changes and popcorn needed for the kids. Yes, the kids are upstairs watching Transformers on their iPads, not even looking at the TV.
Are they all watching a different?
They're all playing a different game.
Actually, when I went upstairs, they were all on the 3rd floor.
Oh.
Oh, they've migrated.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
See, and they're going to wake up Christian.
Yes,
And
that'll be soon.
See,
This podcast is over.
and the podcast is over. Then we got to go get, see, look.
Yeah, I
No,
made
that
it.
just means mommy has to go back on duty.
That means they better not be playing in my toilet.
Christian probably is. They probably took Christian out.
Christian can climb out his own thing, so.
Yeah.
But, so we're back. Tony's back now. She had to step away.
She had to go be mom.
She had to
Mommy
go be
duties.
mommy duties. So, Tony,
Yes.
talk to us. Tell us about yourself.
Yeah. What do you do, Tony?
What do you do as a mommy to escape?
I don't.
Oh.
Really. Which is
Ooh.
bad. I go to work.
Yeah.
Well, that's not an escape.
That's not really an escape.
Except for
What
lunch.
are your hobbies?
Because when
What
we
do you
break,
like to do?
we break.
You know what? Recently, I was talking to my husband about this same topic, and I realized that my life and what I like to do has totally changed, for one. And two, I don't really know what I like to do at this point in my life.
And that's okay. I
Yeah.
went through that. I went through that with my second. After Christian was born, right around my birthday, I didn't know who I was anymore. And I was like, I am mom 24/7. And so how do I find who Shay is? And so I started That Girl Shay. That's my Instagram, that's my blog, my personal blog. And I kind of just let it evolve on its own. And so within that, we founded Two Cool Parents. I realized that I wanted to merge our business accounts. So we started The Right Touch event planning company, and Will rebranded his own personal company in that. So it's a work in progress, but that's a real truth. Like, after you become so obsessed with your kids, like, that's your life.
That's right. They have
All day.
They have stuff all
And
the
schedules.
time. Schedules. You got
Play dates,
baseball,
birthdays.
gymnastics. I mean,
Dance.
everything. And your life just kind of revolves almost around them. And if you work, then you've got work, and then you got the kids.
Yep.
And
And then come home and do work
right.
and got the kids.
Yeah.
Because being a mom, you don't. There's no sick days.
You don't clock out.
You don't clock out. You don't go off duty.
Exactly.
I've been awakened by a child throwing up on me.
Been there.
Yeah. My son pooped on me. It's just it's like,
And to interject, a lot of times the kids always go to y'all first. Like,
Oh
they
my
do so
gosh.
crazy.
They
like,
walk right
they
past
walk
him.
right
me.
past.
Mommy, can you do this?
And I'm
They
like,
walk
I'm-
right
Can
past
you
I'm
help me with
standing
this?
here.
And I'm like, did you
Yeah.
not see? I'm dealing with the baby at this point.
Exactly.
Did you not see your dad
Did you not
sitting
see your
there
dad?
doing nothing?
Yes.
I'm
And it's
down.
really messed up. I don't really particularly like it.
I know, me neither, but I don't complain.
And that's the thing. Like,
Well, to hear y'all talk about it does make you want to help, and see, like, what can I do to do better? But the kids are going to walk right past us at least for the next, I would say, 10 years.
10.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Oh yeah, they're gonna walk past us.
They'll walk right past us like we don't, unless we, and I don't want to be forceful about it. So,
I mean, you could at least put the game controller down for 5 minutes and say, "Hey, mom's busy. Can I help you with something?"
yeah, that's
And
true.
JB will do that sometimes if I say, didn't you see me doing whatever I'm doing?
But then
why
I'll-
did you walk past your
then
dad?
I'll-
And then he'll say,
Yeah.
let me help you with
that's,
that.
For me, hearing her say that, though, I would have to hear her say that. 'Cause a lot of times, if they walk right past me, sorry about that.
That's
guys.
all right.
That's okay.
A lot of times they hear
She's cute.
if I hear her walk past, the kids walk past me, I won't even pay attention to them if I see them. I'll just be like, okay, and then she'll say something that's like, y'all come over here and do this, and leave your mom alone.
But why do you not pay attention to them?
Because I'm watching something, I'm in tune to that, and I'm thinking they're watching it with me, and they ain't thinking about nothing I'm watching.
not.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm thinking they're right beside me. They got up
And
and
they're
moved on.
clearly off.
Yeah, gone.
Doing something.
Gone.
London has dragged her brother upstairs across the floor by his foot. And I'm just like, what is going on? And Will's like, what? What do you mean they're not here?
No,
I'm like, they've been upstairs for a whole hour.
But my thing
And
is,
you're supposed to be watching them.
well, here's the crazy part. I move when I start hearing like it get louder. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
that means I gotta move. Let me go do something.
The TV already on 40. I can't turn it up no louder.
The TV's not even loud. Once I hear like a loud bang or a clank, I'm like, what's going on up here? Like I'm like, the warden all of a sudden that shows up. Like Shay's the CO, and I'm the warden that shows up.
He does. He
Lock
like
him
comes
down.
in, what are y'all doing?
Lock them down.
What is going on? I'm like, well, you can't come regulate now.
Yeah, it
I've
might
got
be-
it under control.
To hear it from that perspective, I do the same thing, and that might be a little late. We might be
It's
a
a
little
lot
late
of
for us
bit
to come
late.
regulate then. That's right. Yeah, because a lot of times, like I have I'm really strict on the kids when they do something to make their mother disappointed or mad. So I don't like that. I really don't like that because I know she went through the labor, she gave birth. One person you ain't gonna disrespect is your mom. So if you go over there and you start doing certain things and she gotta keep telling you something over and over, I get pissed.
I love it when Will does that. to
Yeah,
London.
like I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? Like respect your mom.
Yeah.
That's what you're gonna
And
do.
he'll say, and you better respect your mama.
That's
That's
right.
yes,
You're
ma'am.
gonna do that.
Like,
yeah.
yeah.
So
That's
we got
me.
your back right there. Now we might not see them before they get to that point, but we got your back there. So it's pretty. It's really that's where I come in at. A lot of times when we see the kids walk right past us, we not even thinking about that. It ain't that serious at that point. But we got to hear y'all keep doing the same thing over and over and over.
It's dad
We'll step
hearing.
in. Yeah,
I believe there's something called, like we have mom
selective.
intuition. They have dad hearing. And dad hearing is I don't hear them until they annoy me.
Yes.
Or until they, do something that makes me realize, oh, okay, I need to interject now. So it's like, here we, if London says something upstairs and Will hears it, that's when he's like, oh, wait, maybe I should go downstairs. Oh, the baby is coughing.
Yeah, we apologize for that.
No,
She
it's
had a-
okay.
had a
This is
long
why y'all
weekend.
are two cool parents.
Long weekend,
Because y'all have cool kids.
They know how to jump in.
She just got something to say. That's all. Y'all want to put her on the microphone and let her scream for a second? Y'all can just let her scream. We can
No,
have a
but you
little
know
kid.
what? One thing that Shay and I were talking about earlier is as mothers, being ourselves and having ourselves to ourselves.
Man, that's hard.
Yes, because
I have my body back, have my mind back, have 5 minutes to the bathroom by myself.
man,
Whew.
yeah.
Can
But
I
me-
take a shower by myself?
Look,
without having little
I'm still
people?
nursing, so
I know.
even after you carry for 9 months, now I'm nursing. She's almost 8 months, so that's
power to
another.
you.
And then with my first two, I was still nursing my daughter when I was pregnant with my son, and then I turned around and started nursing him. So
Did
that
you nurse
was
them
like-
both at the same time?
No.
Okay.
No, I stopped her 4 months before I gave birth to my son.
Okay.
And so then that was another, so really like 3 years straight, I was nursing.
Yeah.
Not my own, my body was not my own.
Yeah.
So you
And you're
got,
back at it again.
right. And then you've got the kids pulling at you, and then you've got your husband pulling at you
yeah.
too, how that is. So it's rough.
Girl, that's when you be like that
Welcome to
midnight
the-
tap.
Welcome to the mom talk section
Yeah.
of the podcast.
But I think it's important because a lot of times, like, we forget ourselves.
Right.
Whether it's unconsciously, because I sometimes go on autopilot. Where I'm just, Will calls it when I'm like, I'm doing my mom stuff. And literally, it's like I'm doing 16 things at one time.
Yeah.
I've got dinner going. I'm changing the baby. I'm, making sure the other one is not attacking the baby. We've got TV on. I might be on a conference call as well. And I'm just managing all of this.
Right.
And it's hard. But I also feel Will's position because it's like I'm not sure where to step in sometimes.
I mean, as a man, as a husband, as a father, it's weird to like step in because I mean, it's always going to be this conversation about men. We're not nurturers. That's what having a wife and a mother is. That's what your I hate to say it, but your job is. You are the nurturer. You are.
But see, you just said the word job.
But
that's exactly what it feels like.
It's an distinctly job that you know how to do. You're it's automatic. You know what to do. It's like when you walk into work at 8.
No, it's automatic that you
8 o'clock, 9
know
o'clock
how
in the
to
morning.
do it.
You already know what you have on your table.
You just know
to do.
you have to do it, or your kids are going to suffer.
Correct. Whereas for men, we're like. We're like Ricky Bobby in Talladega Nights. I don't know what to do with my hands. Like we don't know what to do with them. We're just I'm here. Like if you need me to do something, let me know. If you don't, I'll be downstairs.
I guess sometimes it's that certain things have to be done. So just jump in. I mean, it's certain things that have to be done.
Right.
Dishes got to get done.
Right.
Floor got to be swept. Kids got to go to bed.
Yeah, see, the kids going to bed thing, we can definitely step more up with doing that. I know some dads who are great at doing that. Myself, I'm not the best. I'm not going to be able to read the story.
No, you were really good. Like when Christian was really little, you would get London ready for bed.
Yeah, I would get her. Well, because it was like you got to get them out the way.
Well, yeah, I was feeding, and we had our nightly ritual with Christian, so it was feeding every like 2-3 hours,
right?
And that's just exhausting. So I was napping, and you know how it is, Tony. You sleep when the babies sleep,
right?
So Will really stepped in then, and would wash London, which Will told me was hard for him because she's a little girl, but he's trying to educate her about how she should wash and things like that. Oh yeah,
I used to have her. I still even now, like now it's she's 5. It's you can do this yourself, but it's hey, make sure you wash here. And I tell her right up front, I'm not raising no funky girl.
Right.
You ain't gonna be the stinky girl in school when they come home talking about you.
Yes.
My house smells like Yankee Candle, so I don't know what you talking about is funky.
Brought to you by what flavor is this? Pineapple mango.
Upside down pineapple cake.
He just had to have it, y'all.
It smells like pineapple water ice. Gotta love it.
But go ahead, Tony. Finish up. Tell us what was on your mind.
Yeah, so as far as, I think that I don't want to make it seem like being a mom is a bad thing for those people that are thinking about having kids. It's the most wonderful, amazing
job
thing
ever.
You never feel a love like that. And the fact that
unconditional love,
the fact that you're bringing life into the world is amazing. But there's an element of that whole thing that
sacrifice.
I mean, that's
the best word for it.
Huge, yes.
You give up a lot of yourself.
That's what we call suffering from parenting.
Yes. And some days, like, parenting, adulting, mothering. No. I want a day off.
Parenting and adulting are two separate things.
I get
Single
it.
people adult. People with kids parent.
Okay, I feel like I adult and parent. And yes, mother at the same time.
Okay.
All three.
And wife.
And wifing.
and husbandry.
And husbandry. Husbandry as well, like the
house of husbandry.
I fail in that a lot of times. And that's because honestly, by the time I have mothered and adulted and done all the things, I don't have any energy left. And so that's why this podcast is so important to, especially myself. It gives us time to be together.
Yeah.
And we can talk about kind of the day and things that we want to talk about, but can't because I've got to corral, what's going on upstairs.
Yeah, definitely. The same for us. I mean, we will text each other back and forth. Okay, we're going to do this in the evening time when he gets off from work. And by the time he gets home, I've had the kids and they've bathed and with the baby, all this stuff. And by the time he gets there, I'm worn out. Mm-hmm. And what we talked about
Don't you get exhausted?
doing, yes, and what we've talked about doing in the evening a lot of times doesn't get done, unfortunately, because I'm just tired.
Yeah.
It happens.
So let me ask you this, and let me know if it's too personal. How has it affected your marriage that you are now a parents of 3 kids, and time just isn't there?
As far as
And JB, you can jump in when you need to.
Yeah, as far as our marriage goes, you know what? We had it kind of rough in the very beginning. Like our first 2 years was very rough because we got married and then had the baby like almost immediately, and then
They were like us.
and then we had another one
Immediately after.
18 months later. And so those first
Y'all were
2
having too much of the
years-
sex.
They was hunching. That's what we like to say in the South. They was
make
hunching.
up because we was having a lot of
Issues.
Yeah,
Y'all was going back and forth,
we
arguing.
were battling because we were newly married and just
You were
trying to
probably
figure
learning
out
each other.
learning
Yeah.
each other, trying to figure out how to
Trying to
navigate.
find out what
We
this
were-
whole thing is about.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
were used to just doing our own thing, and here
JB,
we
you can
are.
come in with the baby. It's okay.
And just trying to figure out how to do things with one another. And so now we really understand each other. To be honest with you, it's crazy, but we don't have a lot of like arguments and stuff like that. We just kind of like,
But when y'all do, it's like a relief valve has just been pressured, and then like,
Yeah,
kind of, like it gets out, and then like
yeah, and then we know
like,
how to deal with
Yeah.
it, and we're fine.
We're at that point now.
Yeah.
we're at our 5 years, and I remember when we had dinner with you guys. That one time y'all were like, if you can make it to 5 years, you're good. We've made it. In a couple months, we'll be 5 years,
Awesome.
and
Yeah.
I think this is our best year. Would you say that?
yeah, minus the whole not working thing, but
I mean, as far as our relationship,
well, as far as our relationship, especially with the not work thing, it has brought us together. It has
Yeah.
worked us together. Adversity builds character within this relationship that we
we talk
have.
about a lot of stuff more.
We always talking like, how
Like earlier
our,
today, we
like
were
our
just talking about-
generations probably like sat down in the living room or drawing room or sitting room, and mom knitted or crocheted or read a book, dad read the newspaper, so on and so forth. That's our version of that generation, when we are just having existential conversations, just building is like, it's kind of
we talk about like
it's kind of like
what we're scared about, what
Yeah.
we love, what we what we miss, what we can do different. Just earlier today, Will and I were just kind of just battling around this whole unemployment thing, and
actually, no, it first started off talking about Narcos.
yes, we
It's
had
the-
an entire conversation about the drug cartels.
We had an entire conversation
Very
talking about the
important.
drug cartels from Narcos, the drug cartels in Snowfall. But check out Snowfall on FX. We're not sponsored by them, but that is a good show. Shouts out to them. But it's just that it started off there, and then it just went off onto different tangents of conversation, and it was just that great piece. And again, back to what you're saying about the 5 years and how this is our best year. Like you said, we're conversing more, not conversating. We're conversing.
conversate.
Yeah.
We're conversing more. We're having organic dialogue with each other, and that shows from maturity in your marriage, maturity in yourself as an individual, because we're not finding ourselves, but we are evolving as early 30-year-old parents and early 30-year-old married people.
And it makes a difference because you genuinely want it to work.
Correct.
So you will put in the work and the things, you pick your battles,
Oh yeah.
And so things that would have irritated you years ago don't irritate you
Nah.
as much anymore.
And
You're right about that. Like, you got to let stuff go.
Right.
So
That's just a part of that person's personality. And when you marry them, you marry that part, the good, the bad.
Yeah.
Will gets on my nerves with certain things, but that's just him.
Right.
And I'm cool with it.
your mama.
Really? Why you always gotta bring my mama into this?
No,
Let's talk about yours.
Why you always gotta take it personal?
I'm just saying, you always go with my mama.
It's a thing where you just gotta say your mom.
All right.
Just say your mom.
Hey, where
And
am I?
see,
I
you
do that
got
to
that
JB
point
too.
now. See, I used to get mad when she said, "Don't talk about
Because
my
he is a
mama."
mama's boy, let me tell
Oh
you.
wow, she's just gonna put it out there, huh?
I mean, all boys,
Okay.
You know,
all boys
and,
are.
yeah,
Okay.
you know, and your mama
Listen,
know.
Okay, let's not go
I love
there.
you, Mom.
But even then, I know
Your
that
daughter
I've got.
agrees.
Yeah, I don't know what she talking about. I don't think cover her mouth. What you talking about, girl? But no,
She like, he's a dad mama's
even
boy.
then though, like you say, I don't get mad when she says that. I used to get mad. Like, you ain't gonna talk about my mom. You know what I'm saying? Like, but now it's like, okay, we got to that point where, listen, she ain't trying to damage you, but
Right.
Tony gonna let you know exactly how Tony feel. I had to get used to that because I'm used to saying what I gotta say and walking off and not caring what you gotta say. I'm married to you now. I got to be here to. I ain't got to, but I'm here.
Right.
I'm committed to the marriage. We in love, but I'm committed to this marriage too. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, hey, you know, I got to make sure that I listen to what she's saying, and if I don't like it, it is what it is. But we'll, you know, like you said, part ways and keep moving that way. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
Well, I want to change the speed up a little bit. Let's talk about us being married and looking on social media at some of our friends who are living still quote unquote single lives, but are going places while we're sitting at home with kids. How do y'all feel about that?
As far as for us, you know, I see people going, you know, we try to get out when we can. A lot of times we do take the kids with us when we're traveling and all of that. You know what? I look at it as we are raising little human beings. And I feel like JB and I are going to be together for at least, another 60 years?
Yep,
Yes.
we on it.
So I feel like,
I like how you
this
said
is
that.
just a short period of time
Yeah.
where we are building. I mean, we're saving money. We're looking at different things to build ourselves as well as legacy and
the
things for
kids.
our kids.
Yep.
So once this 18 years has passed for, you know,
And
for the
I don't
kids.
even look at it 18. My daughter, sorry to get you off. Tony. My daughter is gonna be growing up to babysit soon. Lock the door and we gone.
Savannah, you have a
that's
job.
Right. And she
We already
know.
we already ordered your food. It's here.
It is here.
Yeah.
Don't you answer this door? Don't you
That's
open this
right.
door?
They're sliding through the little hatch.
I don't even care if I don't care if it's your grandmama or your
That's
auntie.
right. They
Don't
have a
open
key.
this door.
They have a key. They coming in.
Yeah, so I just look at it as it's a short period of time where you may not be able to do all of those things, but you're still making memories. You're still enjoying yourselves. You're
Yeah.
still enjoying each other, but enjoying your kids as well. And once the kids are gone, then we can
Turn
do
up.
even more. You know, of
Yeah, I
other
mean,
things.
life has different seasons, and we're in the season where we're raising kids right now. A lot of people in their 30s generally stack paper. Most people travel in their 20s. You got friends doing it now. You're a little behind, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? So by the time we get 40 something, hey,
You be ready to travel.
We're gonna be traveling, and we're gonna be good. Believe me, what I'm saying, because we ain't just blowing money.
Right.
And
Yeah.
they'll be most likely starting a family.
Yeah, 40 is coming.
Right.
You know
It's
what I'm saying?
knocking.
Listen.
So, I mean, it took you. I mean, I'm not knocking nobody, but it took you that long to start traveling. We was doing it in our 20s. Come on now. Like,
I mean,
But some people haven't been, you know, and that's just the
I'm
reality.
true.
They
I-
haven't
this
had
is
the
I didn't really
means.
travel that much
thank you.
in
You're
my
right,
20s.
you're right. Yeah,
In my 20s, I was working.
yeah, but I think what I'm really into is when you say you see your friends online doing it and they just trying to act like they're doing it, and I know you. That's what I'm relating to. Like, I know you. You don't have it like that.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You just
And social media is a front, you know, like
Yes, for sure.
It's a
People
snapshot
have-
of their
It's not real
happiness.
life.
exactly.
I'm like, I know you. I really know what you
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
You are lying.
people look at us and they're like, "Dang,
I
they're
want y'all lives.
we want our lives." I'm like, "You want to be unemployed too?" Like, okay, cool.
yeah, but y'all actually doing stuff. Y'all have businesses.
We do.
You doing a podcast.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
we work all the time.
Yeah, exactly. So
Actually,
that's
I think
not-
we're busier now than
I'm more.
we were.
I finna realize how much busy work I have to knock out when I'm not working.
But
Like
it's
Will is a
building-
president of 2 associations. Like
Yeah.
he's busy.
Yes, don't say
Stepping
it's a
down from
job
one
thing. That's
next
not-
week. Thank God.
Yeah.
Yeah, like for you all, I just feel like this is just what did they say? A setback for a comeback.
Yes.
So like Boosie Badass.
B
Is that what you said? That's what
BOSIEBADAZZ. That's me. Write it down.
Yeah, you
Moments
know,
in trap moment history. Shay coined it. Just let everybody know. Hashtag B.
you know what? Some people, I mean, they'll have a setback and they just stay there. They wallow in their misery.
Yeah.
And
They bring everybody down with them.
yeah, but I don't see that from you all at all. I mean,
you.
when
Yeah.
Shay told me the other week about this, I just was like, wow, this is God telling them, you know, giving them time to get themselves together
for the come up.
for the come up. Yeah.
And the thing is, don't forget about that. This is God telling you that. Like you have a come up that you're gonna get to that point. We was talking about outside.
Yeah.
You just can't stop doing it. You can't stop the grind.
Yeah.
Like people say, oh, I didn't make it by the time I'm 35. But you can't stop the grind. The grind continues. 40 is coming.
Right.
45
Not
is
just
coming.
40.
Like life is like I
This is
listened
40.
to what was it? I think this is a bad analogy, but the the movie. I Think I Love My Wife. One of the lines Chris Rock says on there is, "Life is long. You will not get hit by a bus. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You will not die of a disease. Life is long." You know what I'm saying? So if you're not preparing, that's what y'all doing right now. You have a lot of time to
Absolutely.
go right into it. You good.
Yeah. I think a lot of the things that some folks, including myself, we think that, oh my gosh, I'm in my 30s, it's over.
And I think
it's
that
all-
social media allows people to think that.
Yeah, and that's just why, like, I've had to dial back from social media.
Yeah.
I've had to step away from it because when you look at, bless you, when you look at the scope of it, you're like, oh, I haven't achieved it, I haven't achieved that.
Well, I think that a lot of it came with the time we grew up in.
Yeah,
Zuckerberg became big and he was 24,
Yeah.
23. We saw that like, whoa,
I have a lot of
we
billionaires
are
and
behind
millionaires.
at a
Yeah.
young age. But we really not.
right.
Internet makes us, we know how the guy we was talking about earlier.
Yeah, shouts out to Gary Vee.
Gary Vee, yeah. The internet makes you younger, makes you last.
Absolutely.
I mean, my parents on the internet now, they would have never been doing stuff they're doing now 10 years ago. All right, Kelsey.
That and I look at social media totally different from Will. Like to me, social media is a business. I look at it
That's
as
a great way to look at it.
Yeah, I look at it as opportunities to grow the podcast, to
Yes.
grow my business, and to make myself profitable.
Yeah.
I hate to put it out there, but I don't look at social media or I don't post things on social media to necessarily create a false awareness of what's going on. It's just I know that this is marketable. I have a marketing eye, so I see things a little bit differently. So when I look at social media, I'm looking at the trends. I'm looking at what hashtags people are using. I'm looking at how
Your
pages
hashtag
are set
defines
up.
you now.
Yeah, I'm looking at how pages are set up and mirroring how those profitable pages are setting up. So, I changed our pages so that they look like that. I'm posting content that's a little bit more relevant so it'll reach a wider audience.
Right.
Because I'm getting past my immediate group.
Yes.
Right.
Like it's not just
And
about...
I'm sorry.
No. I was just saying it's not just about, my friends and families. I finally, for the first time, opened up my page. I unblocked it from being private. It used to be private ever since Instagram first came out. And I unblocked it because I was like, you know what? I'll never be profitable being private.
I've been trying to tell you that.
And Will's
That's a
actually the
fact.
one who,
That's a fact.
has been encouraging me. And throughout this whole process, like Will is really my motivator in all of this because he helps me see things. A lot of times it's harder for me to see it because they're my kids, they're myself. So I see it from my point of view,
Right.
where he sees it as, here's your opportunity to go the extra mile.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bill.
You're welcome. I mean,
Love you, Bill.
it's love you too. I mean, again, like back to the base of the conversation was that how do we see and feel about people who don't have kids partying and having fun in their 30s and we're in our 30s, but again, like you said, social media can put a damper on that because we know how that person really is. And like you said, Tony, we're stacking up, we're saving up, and we're getting ready. So like you said, JB, when we turn of 40 or plus, we have now the ability to go travel and do all those things where they
Yeah, we
probably
hitting Bali, we hitting, Zimbabwe,
No,
we going to Nairobi.
We going to Tanzania.
We going to Tanzania. We bringing y'all with us. Like, we going to be... What I don't see, though, and I would love to see, is more families That's what's missing from social media, and that's what I'm trying to bring with the Two Cool Parents podcast.
I like that.
Is I don't see enough of us. And what I mean by that is it's a lot of us Black people, people of color, who are two-parent households, you know, trying to do the right thing, setting examples for their kids, you know, like you said, building wealth, establishing a legacy. I don't see that a lot on social media. You see the fame, you see the Instagram models, you see all of that, you see the celebrities, but you don't see the everyday. And maybe people are saying that's not marketable, but I think it is.
Well, 'cause people are very guarding of their children.
Kids.
So,
Oh, absolutely.
So like they'll probably post a picture with their kid, but put like one of the little smiley faces over it so you won't see it.
Right.
Which, you know, again, I understand for, you know, your personal
I
security.
mean, absolutely. The internet is forever. You know, these kids have to grow up at some point.
But, you know, at the same time, we see, like you said, the Snapchat of us individually, but like you said, bringing families, I support it. You know, that's what this Two Cool Parents was all about. Just bringing not just, you know, families in general, but people who want to aspire to have those.
For the cool but corny in all of us.
Cool but corny and all.
That's our tagline, guys.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta make a tagline for the clothier thing.
It'll come.
It'll come.
Yeah.
I haven't thought about it really.
It'll be good. It'll be there.
It will. Yeah.
So let me ask you guys this while we have you. One of the things that always, you know, I've noticed about parents is we have to juggle a lot of hats. Moms, we do it sometimes effortlessly. A lot of times it takes a struggle. But how do the two of you bounce, you know, responsibilities off of each other? Because Tony, I know you're doing things, and JB, you said you were pursuing a master's degree. Mm-hmm. So how do you balance kind of, you know, just responsibilities that you guys have to your personal lives and mix that in with just the things that you have to do every day?
So I think JB and I are a really good team. Because a lot of times, well, now with the baby, like he will do a lot with the older two,
Okay.
while I handle things with the baby. And then when there was not, what was it, 2 years ago, when we both actually did our masters together.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
Yeah. And
I remember you getting yours.
Yes.
Congratulations, JB.
Yeah, we did it together.
I didn't know you were doing yours too.
And so just the teamwork, so it's not too overwhelming for one of us. I think JB is awesome with, especially like I said, the older two kids, because he'll, even in the mornings, we'll make sure, you know, he'll may fix breakfast and I fix lunches for the kids. And so we each have tasks that we do that are set like routine for us every day.
Okay.
So
you guys
we
have
know-
a calendar? Or you just do it off of?
We don't do so well with the calendar yet. That's coming.
JB, you hear that? That's coming? The
That's
calendar's coming?
Yes. But as far as daily routines and things, I think we've pretty much gotten that down pat.
Okay.
And so that helps alleviate some of the stress, you know, with last minute things. You know, still sometimes we're running around like chickens with our heads cut
that's
off,
everybody.
But, you know, I think we're pretty good as far as teamwork. And,
Good.
not just one of us doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, the marriage is teamwork. It's really, this isn't, you know, the old school marriages no longer, you know, fellas. So you have to play as a team. If you can play 2K, if you can play Fortnite, if you can play Call of Duty.
Yes, Call of Duty.
If you can play any of those video games, if you can go outside and play soccer, you can play basketball, football, flag football, whatever.
You can do it with your kids.
You can do it with your kids. You can do it with your wife. You know, it's a team sport. You know, no one wins when the family feuds. So you gotta
Come on, Jay-Z.
So you have to work together to build together to make it work together. So you know what I mean, it's taking a lot of men out of our comfort zones, because you know sometimes we feel like if we're coming home, I've already did my thing, you take care of this, but it's more than that, you know.
Yeah.
But again, ladies, lovely wives that we have, please usher us into your process, because that's the part where we need the help with.
You talking to me, boo?
I'm talking to you, but I'm also talking to our listeners who are married and stuff like that. You have to walk your husband or your significant other into the process. You know, like we were very fortunate to find out great news about certain folks who are about to have kids. I expect that, and I hope that when we talk to them again, that they usher each other into their process, so that, you know, it can be done that way, especially to build your marriage, to build up everything. Because I've seen folks who have been married and, you know, he comes home, sits down, and she has to do everything.
Yeah.
And she gets mad because he doesn't. I'm like, well, have you told him?
Yeah.
I have, but he doesn't. Then you need to figure it out.
Not just figure it out. I feel like that that communication piece, you know,
yeah.
You have to learn to talk with each other and more about how was your day, you know, what'd you do to kind of the basics, you know, like remember when you were a kid in school and everybody comes to you and they're like, well, how's school? You're like, it's fine. Right. You give the same kind of just generic responses, but you have to dig a little deeper. And I think those conversations that you have that, you know, stimulate your mind or your thinking, really help build your relationship. You know, those conversations where you're talking about dreams, where you're talking about, you know, abstract concepts, or you're even talking about, you know, this is what happened, you know, in the past and this is how I dealt with it. You know, maybe I didn't handle it the best, but, you know, maybe that's something that your spouse or your significant other can help you with. You know, a lot of times we get into, you know, just ruts where we can't ourselves get out of, you know, our own thinking. And Will, you talked about this last episode about how sometimes you just kind of get stuck, you know, in negative thinking and negative thoughts, especially when situations happen to you. And so,
shouts out to Pastor Ted for clearing that up this past week.
Absolutely. Had a great message, a great word from our pastor. And that kind of, you know, just connection and then talking about it with your spouse. I shared with Will that, you know, I'm afraid of the future because it's not something I can see.
And I'm afraid of my past.
And Will's afraid of his past, you know, but one thing that we can fix every single day is our present. It's the one thing that we can, you know, deal with and change the outcome.
To learn from our past and prepare our future. Exactly.
I don't know where we'll be, you know. I know I'll be with Will and Will will be with me.
Yep.
And the Two Cool Parents podcast will live on. But how it evolves, we don't know, you know? So it's kind of like, you know, you just put your trust in God, you put your trust in your faith and your beliefs, and you know, you have to be willing to share with your partner.
There it is.
Definitely, because your partner doesn't know what you don't tell them a lot of times.
Correct.
And they could think that you're okay, and you're really not. And a lot of women, they take on the burden, a lot of burdens, a lot of times that they don't have to, if they've got a good man that's willing to help them out in situations, even if it's something little that you've got to do every day. It's been many things that I've told JB, like, I just don't want to do this, or, you know, can you just help me with this? Because I found myself getting frustrated. And then he's like, yeah, I can do that. No big deal. And I'm like, all this time I have been worrying myself sick about having this extra thing to do when he could have been doing it all along. You know, so like I said, not everybody has as
well,
good
we all
of
don't
help.
have a JB.
We all don't have a JB. We all don't have a Will, you know, but that communication definitely, and it goes obviously both ways.
Absolutely.
You know?
Fellas, we gotta talk more. You can't hold that stuff to the chest. Like, it's toxic. You know, it's very toxic. I know we come from some households with fathers or without fathers, or with, you know, a strong father figure, whether it be a granddad or an uncle or a cousin, someone who raised you. But we gotta talk more and express those feelings out, because if we don't, we're setting ourselves up for failure. We're setting up our relationships for failure. We're setting up our marriage for failure. We're setting up our kids for failure by not showing that we can talk those things out. Because it's, again, if we're going to teach them how to communicate and be good in their relationships, especially if you have a daughter, you want her to see what a man is like, to be able to have those type of conversations. And if you have a son, you want to teach that young man how to treat women, and how to talk to women, and how to, you know, share those insides with him. Like, I understand, like, we want our boys to be boys, be tough, be that, you know, don't be a girl, don't cry about it. But guess what? If they don't, then they're going to be stuck and they're going to have these emotional problems. And you got to talk to them. Like, being real, me and my dad got into an argument earlier today about Amazon Prime.
about 2 days shipping.
About 2 day shipping. But it was about him, but he's like, you don't calm down. I'm like, yo, I got this from you. It was like, you know, going back and forth. And of course I apologized before he left the house and we finished up and everything. But, you know, I look back on it, I'm like, my dad really didn't help me emotionally as a kid, and I had to learn these on my own in my marriage with Shay, talking it out, you know, doing some readings and stuff like that. But again, it's the communication piece for any marriage to help with the finances, help with the raising of the kids, you know, planning those trips, you know, stuff like that. And then of course for the kids to see us doing that, for the young ladies to see the women talking to us in a certain way and building that, and for us to, you know, reciprocate it and back and forth, especially with the young men to see that too. So again, communication is key. The head cannot move without the neck.
That's right.
There you go. And that's your lesson in what is it? Submission. the husband is the head and the wife
not
is
even.
the neck.
It can be both ways.
I don't think so.
I
baby.
don't think so.
But sometimes, like certain things, yes, it does, because in certain instances, I become submissive and say, "Look, baby, this is your thing, run it."
Now, see, I don't see that. I think that's a little bit different. What I think of as submissive is your husband is the head of the household.
Okay,
and he runs your household. Like that's, to me, that's very finite. There's nothing gray about that. Now, yes, there are certain aspects where I am, just because my personality or my gifts, my talents, whatever you want to call it, fits for that role. Okay. Absolutely. But I'm still never the head, if that makes sense. I'm just the brain of the operation.
So play devil's advocate, but play white woman's devil's advocate.
You don't want to go there.
So you're saying that the man can only be the head of the household? What about us women?
I mean, and I'm a staunch feminist, and I'll say this 1,000 times. Yes, my husband is the head of the household. Even though I am a feminist, even though I am, is that Christian?
No, that's
Kelsey.
She cries just like Christian.
Kelsey with a K. What they say?
But even though, you know, like I believe that, and I still believe in being a feminist. I still believe in women's rights. I still advocate for women advancement, especially in the workplace. My husband rules my house, and you know, when it was very important for me. That's why I said, "Well, you have to lead us to the body of Christ that we have to join," and that's why I followed you, because you had to make that decision for us, because we come as a family unit.
Right. Right, party of four.
There you go. Now, where we go on the weekend, is it, you know, are we going to the mountains? Are we going to the beach? What are we doing? That's a Shay decision.
Yeah. That's your thing.
You know, that's my thing. So, you know, there's to me, there's a difference between that, because it's not making me inferior being submissive. And I think that a lot of women, you know, have to understand a little bit about the Bible when it comes to that. So to me, submission is uplifting. Or their belief, you know, whatever your belief is. But to me, submission means uplifting. You uplift your husband. So when your husband is down emotionally, you lift him up. When your husband is down physically, you lift him up. You stand beside him, behind him, in front of him, around him, but you're always lifting him up. You're always encouraging him. You're always guiding him. That's what the neck does.
Right.
The neck is a muscle. It moves, but the head can't move without it.
Tell me what you got.
I mean,
look, I'm right with Shay. I'm about to take my shoe off and throw it at her.
Wait, let me duck. But to me, because and it's funny that
start laying dolls at the pulpit. Go ahead, Pastor.
That I, because this is seriously, it's a subject that I had to learn, and you know who I learned it from. Tracy Nuttall. So Tracy Nuttall, if those don't know, is
Just up the Rev.
Reverend Nuttall, the pastor who married Will and myself. His wife preached a sermon about submission, and it spoke to me. And everything she said in there, I see now manifesting in my own marriage. And she spoke how hard it was. She didn't understand what being a neck was. But think about it. Your neck, when you get a crook in your neck, it is the worst day ever. When when you're feeling good about yourself, you got a swagger about yourself.
That neck be rolling, don't it?
That be rolling. And just like us ladies, when you might suck your teeth, but at the end of the day, your neck is supported. Oh, look, we got both the babies. Yes. Now, this is original Two Cool Parents.
Yes.
We got both the kids.
If we had the video up, we can show you. We have both of them. Come on over, JB. You might as well just sit on the thing.
Like, you get on the mic, Jay. Like,
Kelsey
this
having
is
a rough day today. Sorry, guys.
It's all right.
It's fine. Like, I want y'all to be comfortable because this is the reality that we live in.
We have Christian
can't have
and
perfect,
Kelsey here
perfect
with us.
podcasts all the time.
Right. So we got CK here. Ain't that right?
And Kelsey wants to podcast, so put her on the mic. Say hello, Kelsey.
This is our little Oprah, actually.
All right.
Yeah.
Because she's been vocal
She
ever
is
since she
very
came
vocal,
down here.
yes. All the time.
Christian, what you want to
Say
say?
hey, Christian. What's up?
Say 2.
Say 1.
2.
1. Say 1. No,
Of course he doesn't want to do it.
Yeah, but I mean, we wouldn't be the Two Cool Parents without having the kids around, but again, the submission piece is definitely huge for marriages to succeed and to thrive. So
It is, and it's not easy being a wife that's very strong-willed, that's very independent, to be that. But I think it's so important, and I hope I've shown you that more so in this year than previous years, because I understand it now.
Oh yeah, you've come a mighty long way, baby.
As you rub Christian's head.
Mighty long way. It's keeping them quiet.
That's Miss Kelsey.
We got snacks.
Ooh, Mama got snacks.
Snacks.
Snack time.
Listen, y'all know Mama's purse got everything in it.
Everything.
Shouts out to all my Doctor Who fans, but I call Shay's purse the TARDIS. If you ever seen Doctor Who, you know the TARDIS is a small police box, but it's huge on the inside.
I carry everything.
She carries everything in there. Like she knows which sector it's found in.
I do. I have it quadrant off just in case, I have snacks for dad, snacks for the kids. We'll be like, oh, you know what I do? Oh, let me I do want fruit snacks.
Like, ooh, I like fruit snacks. Ooh, these are good ones. These are ones that stick to your teeth a little bit later.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, JB, welcome back. You were on dad duty.
Yes.
So we were talking about submission. So what are your thoughts?
About what?
Submission.
Because remember, as they were saying that, us as men and husbands, we are the head of the household. And I was saying that how us as men, we have to communicate within our relationships, because in our relationships, we can't maneuver correctly. If the communication's down, and I use the analogy of saying like the head can't move without the neck, as in we're the head and our wives are the necks.
Yeah, I agree totally. I think that as the head sometimes doesn't mean you give up leadership or whatever for the family, but I do think that you need to know your strong points in the relationship. I know with me personally, I'm not the best money guy. My wife, she knows and understands the flow of money. So I think I'm great with the kids. Not better than her, but I think I'm great. You know what I'm saying? So
You're
know
the
your
fun
strengths.
dad.
Yeah. But I can
All
be the
dads are fun
disciplinarian.
dads for the most part.
I can be this disciplinarian. She'll tell you that.
That's
But-
right. We the law.
But
we are the
What a life
authorities.
being the police.
yeah, I like the good cop,
I
bad
like
cop.
being judge and jury.
Give me the good cop, bad cop thing all day. I love being the bad cop.
Bruh, I'm like Judge Dredd. Law, I am the law.
That's
Yes.
right. I have no problem with that.
Will told London, do you make any money in this house?
I know that's right.
They like to dictate. Kids do that, and it's so crazy. Like we try to give them our kids, like I guess getting off the main topic of the leadership. We try to give our kids let them talk to us, make decisions or whatnot. Not decisions, but give us their opinions on stuff.
I
Now,
get it. Yeah.
Not let them make decisions. We're gonna ultimately have the final say, but we do give them let them do their opinion.
You let them be individuals. Yeah.
Because if you take, I mean, shucks, some parents, they are so strict on their kids, like they will take that away from their kids. So when they get older, they don't know how to function at all. You know what I'm saying? And you want to make sure the kids are able to, think for themselves. Like it's kind of crazy to, even as kids. Like I know when I was in trouble, when I was little, I would get in trouble for talking in class.
Everybody, I think, at this
But
round
it's so
table
crazy.
did.
I told my wife, I said, that's actually my kids networking. My son knows
I
how
was
to
a
talk
true
to
maximizer.
everybody.
Yeah, you were
You
a
know what I'm
maximizer. You were influencer.
But you know how to
Definitely
talk to
influencer.
everybody because
Right.
you're able to do that. You know what I'm saying? So parents shouldn't take that from their kids at that.
Yeah,
at
but you
that
can't be
time.
talking in class, though.
Yeah, it's a
There's
time,
and a
for it.
place.
But on the same token, some people like don't talk in class and you'll get in trouble. Well, he's just asking the person for something and it's really not bothering the class. And it's kind of hard. We got to balance that. Like I know with me growing up, it was you don't say anything in class. Well, me being the introvert that I am, I won't say nothing in
Yeah.
class. You know what I'm saying? So you got to know your
And
kids.
it took you 18 years.
It took me a while. I mean,
Yeah.
it really took me a while to come out of my shell. It's kind of looking back. It's kind of crazy. Like,
So where are you now? Are you out completely?
no, I'm still
Are you
introverted.
still-
Like,
Okay.
yeah, and it's no problem. I'm more comfortable with it now because I've had my fun in college, so I was
Gotcha.
good with that. I got that out. You know what I'm saying? So I know who I am now, and I'm good with that. But I know my kids are definitely extroverts. Like they
Yeah,
want to talk
more
to
so than both
everybody.
of us.
James
More so
almost,
than both of us.
James almost flipped off the top of my house.
Yeah, he has no problem trying.
Yeah.
So being that I know
He
that,
wanted
I
to
don't
go
want to take that energy of because maybe he could be an entrepreneur. He's not scared to go jump out there and do
Absolutely.
things. I don't want to take that from him. You know what I'm saying?
We're
on the
learning
same
that
token,
with London right
You don't want
now.
him to hurt
yeah,
himself.
you don't want him to hurt himself.
Yeah.
So it's like because my son, this is a crazy story. My son he was 3 or 4 years old, and I said, James, don't touch the grill. He looked me right in my face and said, okay, Dad. Maybe a minute later,
Touch
he
the
touched the grill. And what can I do? I said, I told you it was going to burn you. You know what I'm saying? And he touched it. He goes inside and cries to mommy. But what can I do? He likes to learn from experience. You know what I'm saying? So with your kids, you don't want to take everything from the whole experience. It might sound bad, but he had to learn that.
And that's how I am. So London is and James are along the same wavelength here.
Yeah.
And from what you've probably seen of London, she's very a go-getter and very strong-willed. And so that's not something I want to break or change about
Exactly.
her. Because I think she'll make a great leader one day.
Exactly.
And honestly, she has a lot of the same qualities Will does. And it's strong, like
Scary.
scary strong.
Yeah.
Because I see myself in her, and I'm like,
Yeah, but I feel like you guys, I want to nurture it. I
Nurture
want
it. That's
to,
the perfect
you
word.
know, encourage her and show her how to use it for good. You know, show her how to use it for a career. Show her
Because
how
if you
to
take
use
it from her, you don't know. This could be the first woman president. You don't know.
Absolutely.
So you taking that from her, it's like, okay, what have I done to her? Because you can put her in
Exactly.
a shell, and it's like, whoa, it can really mess her up.
It is. And I notice one of the things that being unemployed has helped is now London has one-on-one attention with Will and myself, which is something she didn't get when Christian was little.
Yeah, yeah.
And so that friction, I've noticed a growth in her, small, but I've noticed how she's like, okay, I understand dynamics now.
Yeah.
Like she's building up on concepts that say, okay, I realize that in order to lead, I have to follow in some aspects.
And that's good. A good
And that's
leader.
good.
which is like, now she's like you saw JB, she wanted to do things on the grill. I'm like, whoa, not yet, but you get there. But she did help me the other day clean the grill.
She did.
Today, when my dad was helping me, fix the bed, she was literally sitting there watching us fix the bed and learn those things.
She's learning
Yeah.
She's learning.
how to, take care of herself. Should she ever have a situation.
Yeah, very observant. Like you can see that on her. But you don't want to take that from the kids. Like certain kids, like our daughter Savannah is very dramatic. She is like a drama queen. And my wife said something the other day about it, and I was like, I don't see it. And then I start watching her, and she is very drama filled. Now I can fuss at her and be like,
She's
"Oh,
just
you
gonna
need
be
to
an
straighten
actress.
up."
That's all.
You never know. Well, great writer. She writes great. Her writing skills are superb for her age. Like she writes excellent excellent books and different things like that. But if I could fuss her and say, "Oh, you don't need to be all dramatic," that's what
Ava
she is.
DuVernay. She might be.
Speak it. you know,
Listen, yeah.
speak it. Like, I mean, so with the kids, as far as parenting, and this goes back to with me and my wife. Yes, I am the head, but I believe we're a team. I see certain things, like she picked up on Savannah being very dramatic. I didn't pick up on it, but now I know that being with a team, I'm gonna definitely try to nurture that as well, as a father would nurture. It's not gonna be the same way her mom does it,
Absolutely.
but it's gonna be as a father. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I mean, I'm the head. I'll take that. I have no problem taking that and making the final decision. But believe me when I tell you, I definitely asked my wife about, okay, should we do this or should we do that? You know what I'm saying? And being my wife knows it. If it's a weak part for me, she knows my weaknesses as my wife. If it's something weak for me, she gonna pick up on it and say, "Hey, let's do it this way." She ain't gonna disrespect me as the quote unquote head. She gonna just say, "Okay, I think we should try this." You know what I'm saying? Maybe we should try it this way, baby. I say, "You know what? You're right. Let's do it that way," as opposed to saying, "Oh no, I'm the man. I'm making the final decision." Like you said earlier, Will, it is past the time of our grandfathers and stuff where the man was the one who did certain things. Boom. Nah, man, it's a lot easier to work as a team.
Oh yeah,
a lot easier to work as a team.
yeah,
It's beneficial too.
Very, very beneficial.
Very beneficial.
Because I've noticed Will will be like, we do things better together, than me just trying to do it on my own.
Yeah.
And I think that's very true of things like for myself. So, I need Will to sometimes give me direction. I'm a dreamer. I'm a creative, and I get stuck in that world.
Gotcha.
And so I need Will to bring me back, not necessarily to reality, but to
I bring you back from theory to applied science.
yes. And that helps me
Yeah.
navigate the real world. So, I am, even though I'm a creative, at the same time, I'm very organized. I have to, have a little touch of OCD. So I'm, even though I'm in this drive, Will likes to pull me back, and I need that. I need somebody to help me. Otherwise, I'll just stay in my creative mode.
It's like Inception. So I had to plant that.
Yeah.
I gotta plant that. You're
He
not in
does.
this dream.
Yes.
We're
Yes.
not
he
just
will plant, or he'll spin the top.
Yeah.
spinning your.
So I know I have to get out.
Yeah.
But that's all goes back to finding the right person.
Yeah.
If you were both dreamers,
You just
then-
told me that too. I found the right guy.
if you were both dreamers, y'all would still be dreaming.
Dreaming.
Yeah.
It is so crazy. Dreaming is good.
Dreaming.
Yeah. I mean, dreaming is great, but it comes to a point where you gotta do. How
Correct.
do I apply this dream, or how do I get to this point in this dream?
Oh yeah.
And that's great because y'all work together like that. It's
It
and
has
that's the same
to.
thing with me and Tony.
This is great. I love this conversation, guys.
Yeah, it's excellent.
Oh, Christian's talking. What's up, boy? What's up? What you got?
Christian has a birthday coming up.
Yeah, he's gonna be one. My boy's gonna be one. Strong as an ox.
Yes, he's solid.
Should have named him John Henry. John Henry Wright. You
There's a lot of Johns out there,
You know
too.
why I call him John Henry?
That could be the next one.
No,
Whoa.
no. I'm trying to.
I could go for another one though. I just want a baby. Babies are fun.
I'm not. Look,
They don't stay babies
Now,
long.
No.
Quite honestly, babies are hard to me. like
I can see
Kelsey,
that.
they're hard. Now the kids, when they start walking and they talk,
That's what
I'll
Will
be with
said.
you all day.
yes. When you can reason,
Yes.
when I can teach you reason, yes, let's do
There
it.
is there's no other way around that. It's exactly right. Right, Christian?
But this
Yeah.
age, no. This
No.
I love this age.
This is for mommies.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
This is for mommies.
that's
what it's for.
I would agree with that.
But
I
you
have-
know what? It literally is chemical though for moms. So this age is chemical, and the reason why is because, and I looked this up because I'm a nerd, is so that babies begin to understand the chemical. Well, babies as they're developing, they have chemical reactions that happen. It's called leaps. So mentally and cognitively, they're taking different leaps where they learn abstract things. And so the reason why mothers and babies have this hormonal chemical connection is because it is our way of kind of imprinting on them true love and unconditional love, the
That's
things
why-
that they need to carry them throughout the life.
And that's why they have the song "I'll Always Love My Mama."
Yeah, it's a lot of songs about mama. Joel Santana did one.
There's no
Damian
songs
Marley.
about daddy besides "Dance with My Father."
And there was no way I was playing
No, he
that.
got, wait a
in my way.
minute. Beyonce got.
She did.
I don't listen
A
to
song.
Beyonce. I don't
Yeah,
listen to
Beyonce. What's the
Beyonce.
song? What song she had?
I don't know what it's called. I think it's called Daddy.
I think it is called Daddy.
Yeah.
I don't listen
We
to
know where her and her dad's terms are. They don't like each other right now, I think. I don't know. I'm just hearing.
Well,
But you know,
there's still a song.
it's still a song. Okay,
She
that
did
was
make a
pretty-
song about her daddy.
What you need?
That was years ago, I guess. I don't
Paper
know.
towel.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not too many songs about that.
There's also songs about daddy.
That's you're right.
You know, Father's Day, what you get? You know, some drawers, maybe some socks.
And
The
your-
Mother's Day movement
You
for
might get
for
yeah,
mother-
yeah.
for
You
mother-
get told how the women are better dads than you are.
which I always think is so rude. Like, ladies,
It's
we
rude.
have our own day.
You got your own day. Don't
we have
try
our
to-
own
look.
day. We don't need a Father's Day part 2.
I'm father
true.
too. Look, I commend you for being a single mother.
I do.
But guess what? There are other men that you can put in that young boy's life, a young girl's life, to show up for Father's Day. Uncle,
Right.
cousin,
True.
deacon. You know, you
I don't
just
know,
make
Diggy
just make sure
sometimes
that.
go a little wild.
Them too, but just make sure that, you know, ladies, if that's the case, you know, not speaking and saying that all y'all do it, but make sure you're very selective for who you open them up to. Okay?
Absolutely.
Be very selective.
Absolutely. I think it's important.
I mean,
Just in general,
sometimes
as you
you-
have
I
kids,
think-
who you let in their
Right.
lives.
well, I'm not just talking about lies. I'm just talking about who they open their legs for.
Oh, well, listen. That
Don't
goes
be a
back to-
doorknob, right?
Yes. Don't be a garden tool.
Y'all somewhere else. I ain't
Garden
touching
tool.
this
You
at
know what
all.
that means. Don't
What's
be
the
a
dude
garden
you
tool.
talk about a whoremonger?
Oh, I was watching this thing with this. It's a great clip on YouTube. And he was talking to Emma Rose, and Emma Rose, you know, she has this thing called the slut walk, and she said,
All
Be
praise-
careful, feminists in the building.
"Yeah,
all-
sorry."
All praise to Sutwalk.
Well, she said, he said,
Hashtag slut walk.
He said, so she said, so what does that make the man who's a slut? He said, the slut maker. Like, what? Oh, no, the slut maker. That's what he said. Yeah, the slut maker. I was like,
Tony,
wow.
you know what it was. You ain't got to correct
It
him
was
all the time.
hilarious because Emma Rose looking at him like, okay. 'Cause she wasn't expecting that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah.
So yeah, it was kind of crazy. Yo. Jesse Lee Peterson, go look that joint though. It's hilarious.
I'm out here living my best life.
Oh gosh, yes. Shout out to Lil Duval on that one.
So real quick, we're going to talk about like why married men and grown men love video clips of stupid stuff. We just do.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's comedy.
Talk about that.
That stuff is comedy. It's comedy for us.
It's our escape.
It's our
because
escape.
they watch my wife watches reality,
So does this one.
I love reality
and I don't
TV.
like
Yeah,
it.
me too.
But to me, that's our reality. That's our escape.
Right. I mean,
watch
if it's not basketball or
Yep.
football, if you're still supporting, it's video clips of random stupid stuff, and we
Yes.
love it. We
Yes.
can't help it because it allows us to just laugh at something. Because I can pass my phone around to you to say, "Hey, look at this, look at that, look at that."
It's hilarious.
Look at that. It's
Yeah.
funny. And then Shay be like, "I don't get it." I'm like,
My wife does the same thing.
I don't get
And
it.
Deep down,
Tony, I
know
don't
she
get it
gets
either.
it.
Like-
Deep down, I know my wife gets
like,
it.
if
I
I told-
mean, it's some of them are funny, but some of them I'm just like, this is stupid.
like when I show, like if I think I posted the video of the guy going to Home Depot buying a leveler, driving home with the leveler,
Oh, gosh, yes.
gets into his garage, stands on the leveler, and then plays his boombox and says, "I'm on a new level."
Yes.
Yes, that.
Yes.
That is one of
hilarious.
those ones.
That's
Shout out to
hilarious.
ASAP Ferg on that one.
I'm on a new level, or the new one, or the one I just showed Tony and JB earlier, where it was that. Do you suffer from
yes.
parenting attacks? 10 out of 10 parents. What you need
That was
is
funny.
what you need is a fucking break. And it's spelled APHUKENB. And I was like, oh, this sounds like a great medicine.
It does, and it's like one of those ad commercials
Yeah.
that they play with side effects
Oh,
and
yeah,
all.
it draws you in.
Oh,
It's
the
funny.
side effects are relief, a sigh of relief,
sigh
hanging
of
out with
relief.
your friends. Do not take a fucking break if you already had one before, or unless someone
last
is
24
The last
hours.
24 hours, Do not only take one when someone else can watch the kids. That's facts. And I'm just sitting there like, oh man, it's crazy how like our generation of parents are now. We're comedians about the kids.
Yeah,
like Bat Dad.
Well, I think our generation,
all
as
them.
far as the parents, are a lot better than our parents were back in the day.
Yeah,
and it's not that
it's comical now.
Yeah, like we take the stuff that we didn't like from ours, and stuff that even if we didn't like it, I know good parents will take the stuff that they don't like from their parents. If it works and you're good to go, you're gonna try to use it or incorporate some bit of it. Sometimes, back in the day, like I know some people they didn't want their to do anything their parents did. So when that when that happens, it's like, okay, then how are you really, where are you getting your knowledge from? You know what I'm saying? You gotta have some kind of, and sometimes people that don't have kids, sometimes people whose kids are just off the chain, and you're like, okay, let me go and do what they do.
Right.
But I mean, our generation, I think, is like my pops told me. He said, y'all doing a lot better than we was because y'all actually get it. Y'all understand. Y'all have a clear vision, and then a lot of it helps when us as black people have raised up a little bit. So it's like, okay, we ain't got to be so violent towards our kids all the time.
Right.
We're the new middle class.
That's what it seems like. Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
I mean, we've taken parents to a different level and having fun with it, enjoying. I mean, we're still not saying we're our kids' friends. I'm never going to be my kids' friend.
Absolutely,
never.
Absolutely not.
I mean, I might when I get older. Like my dad's like, all right, bro. I'm like, nigga, what we calling bro?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Yeah,
kind of weird. But I might say whatever the new lingo is when my kids in his 30s and I'm in my 50s. You know what I mean? It's going to be whatever, we're going to have that type of relationship. But I think now it's not like, go sit down and whatever. Like, I'm not going to lie. I have been like that towards my daughter. It's only because I'm at home with her where she used to be in daycare. I'm like, why aren't you somewhere with other kids besides here with me, bothering me? But I've had a conversation with my mother and she said, give her some grace, let her be. And I'm seeing that, she just wants to have fun. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to have fun with you. And we're going to do a whole bunch of stupid stuff.
But see, that's your mom saying that now. When you was younger, she probably didn't say that.
Oh, yeah.
And so you learned that. We'll take that advice from y'all because they know where they made mistakes.
Right.
And, 4 or 5, it's like, come on now. They trying to learn. They're still learning.
And there's no manual on parenting.
There's no manual. Absolutely. I'm not docking my parents.
There's a guide, but no manual.
There is nothing that tells you what to do when situations happen.
He wants the ice, baby. Ice, baby.
Yeah, but for us to be able to do that and we can see our kids excelling in certain things, it's all about nurturing.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The way we try to nurture them and parent them moving forward. So
that's what the kids about, man. You just gotta love these babies. Love the babies.
Yeah, if you start with love as the basis, you'll definitely.
Oh, that's the thing is love, and I mean,
you can't forget that.
Love is everything.
And look, if they make you super angry, just walk away because they gonna do that. That's what they do.
Right.
Walk away and then say, okay, look, this is what you gotta do.
I mean, now especially when we're like looking at our kids, like I was like that. I think that when my parents look at me, they're like, whose kid is this?
Yeah.
Because he's like. When I was that age, like he's talkative, like they probably say, "Oh, you like your mother," but then I have these leadership qualities. They're like, "Where did those come from?" Like leaders aren't made; they're born. And I guess I was
born leader, baby,
born leader, stuff like that. But now I'm seeing it in my daughter. I'm like, okay, she's me, I'm her. Let's make this work. And he's gonna be me too. She's like, he's gonna be such the quiet one. No, you're not. No, you're not.
But I wasn't the quiet one either. So,
Tony, can you corroborate this?
With Shay?
Yeah.
I don't remember her being quiet.
See? I was never quiet though.
I don't ever remember.
And it's
her
really
being
crazy because both Tony and I are both pretty much introverts, but our kids are definitely outgoing.
Yeah, right.
Like they go talk.
You know, but you just got married, Tony. That's
what it is. That's all it is, bro. We're not introverts. We're just.
I know I am.
We're married.
I know I am. I like to say, better give him that ice. Give him ice.
I gotta bang it up.
I know y'all seen the movie Office Space. And the guy that be there, that's me. I would work in a closet and be fine.
He's like, I didn't know this man.
I have no problem doing that. Leave me alone. You know what I'm saying? So that is unless I know y'all, so that's
Right.
a little different. But as far as just meeting people, nah, I'm good. My kids will go up to people and start talking to people. I'd be like,
I mean,
wow.
you and I were both in sales, and I was actually thinking about something like most people in sales are slightly introverted. I think I'm low key introverted.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's like, look, I'm just tired. But have you ever thought about like when you're in sales, you have like you're technically a psycho because you have to turn on that fake smile every moment.
You do, but I don't. That's the problem. That's why I'm terrible in
Oh,
sales.
I know. I was good at it until
Oh,
I
yeah,
just
I
got
wasn't.
until I know the smile was on. Like, hello, welcome to the like.
Oh,
and
no.
then as I got older, it's just like, but you're here.
Yeah.
You made it.
And it gets that way because I mean, we don't want to go. I guess going to work, but it gets that way where the work is not fresh.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, I'm doing this. I've been doing this for certain amount of years.
Right.
Come on now,
Time for something new.
Yeah, time for something different.
Right. Oh man, we talked about a lot today, guys. This is
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have
This is awesome. We're gonna have to come back up here just for the podcast.
Yeah,
I
come
like this. This is
on. We
pretty
would
dope.
love to talk
Yeah,
to
this
you
is
guys
dope.
and get into the nitty gritty without the kitties.
Yeah, when Kelsey is able to walk around and fend for herself.
or we happen to move.
No, we got babysitters.
Or move to
yeah.
Or move to Richmond. The Waka Waka.
Oh, hey, we down there.
Hey, we already told y'all. Come on.
But don't say that because we'll show up with the kids and be
I
like,
show
y'all
up.
slide over.
We got extra room.
Y'all act like y'all
We here.
scared of the
Extra
kids.
room.
We got
Yeah.
kids too. Bring them.
No, I'm not scared with the kids. It's
I'm
just showing
talking
that-
about we not going to leave in the morning.
We good.
we
Like-
be right there with y'all.
Like y'all
Good
want some?
morning.
Y'all want some sausage?
Hey,
We're going to be cooking in the drawers.
No, you gotta put. You
As
gotta
long
do
as
that.
you're not doing that baby boy thing.
Lord have mercy, please don't.
Drinking all the Kool-Aid?
You want something to eat?
Yeah. You want something to eat? Shane, would you like some sausage? They should redo Low Down Dirty Shane.
That would be dope.
That'd be a good remake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be dope. And actually, with to see, you should have Keenan do that again because he hasn't been in the industry in a while, actually.
Oh no, he has connections with all his kids.
Yeah,
not
yeah.
the kids, his siblings
Brothers and stuff, yeah.
yeah. But it's all gravy. But I mean, I think we're talked out. You guys talked out. I think we touched on a lot. What
Yeah,
you
we
think?
did. This is good.
I think we're
We can save some more for the next time.
yeah, we're going on 2 hours
Oh wow.
With the break.
with a 30-second break.
Wow.
Well, again, thank you guys for listening to Two Cool Parents Podcast with Bull and Shay. Thank you, Tony and JB, for traveling up. Thank you, Kelsey and Christian, for being our background music today.
Yes. That was Christian.
That was Christian. Look at them. Every time I hear kids like doing this whole talking thing, I think of Look Who's Talking.
Oh,
And
yes.
Look Who's
Yes.
Talking Now and stuff like that. I wonder what my kid's voice is inside of his head sometimes.
Yeah.
Is it Bruce Willis? Is it Idris Elba? Is it James Earl Jones?
That'd be dope.
That would be.
That would be dope.
So, Tony, I know you're not on social media, but JB, where can everybody find you?
The_Black Cool on Instagram and the Black Cool on Twitter.
And you're also on a podcast, too.
Oh yeah, on the podcast, Living Out Loud podcast. You can find us on all platforms.
Living Out Loud.
Yeah, Living Out Loud.
Go
podcast.
support the Living Out
Is it
Loud
living
podcast.
or living?
Living. I'm sorry, I am from the South with an F. Living Out
SOUF.
Loud podcast.
Yeah, Living Out Loud podcast.
So check out Living Out Loud wherever you get your streams from for your
Yes.
favorite podcast.
It's on all streams:
on all
Spotify,
streams.
Apple, Google Podcasts,
Castbox, all that
good
jazz.
stuff.
Nice.
Again, shouts out to Jack Daniels and Jesus Wine for today's
It works.
episode a little bit. Shouts out to Yankee Candle for the upside down pineapple.
Yay, Yankee Candle. Shout out for all your sales.
Right, thank you. 2 for $40. Pull up for 40 with the shorty.
And of course, we are the Two Cool Parents.
Two Cool Parents.
Yes.
Find us on
With Will
Instagram
and Shay.
at Two Cool Parents.
Two Cool Parents
Podcast.
podcast.
Twitter at Two Cool Parents. The website is www.twocoolparents. Check out the blog. The video's coming soon on the YouTube page. We're on your streaming platforms. We're even on Spotify, ladies and gentlemen. We thank you. 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 Shay, anything else you want to think about?
Nope. Just continue to listen, subscribe, rate, and check us out.
Thank you.
Peace.
Peace.